It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
All right, Dad. Which one of us kids did you like the best?
Well, I actually didn't like any of you guys.
You didn't like any of us?
I mean, at the time, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of grew on me.
You came around eventually.
Yeah, and hey, they're part of me now, and man, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
Especially you, because you just cried for 6 months.
Yeah.
Am I screwing up the show?
No way. Are you kidding me?
It's just
We've been talking about this for a week. This is prime time.
Jay Leno, man, this is all right.
Hey, meet it. Hey, Dad, can you speak some devil for us?
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
It's Tuesday. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Free Beer.
I'm Hot Wings.
Hi, Hot Wings.
Hello, Free Beer.
Hello, Eric Zane.
Hello.
Hi, Broseph.
How's it going, everybody?
Great. Steve, hello.
Morning.
Join us toll free, 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com or check out the website, freebeerandhotwings.com, or follow us on Twitter. Steve, constantly providing updates. What show's up to.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, how many Twitter followers do we have?
If you hold on, I could find out for you.
It needs to be over 1 million.
Over 1 million, I think we may be a little bit shy.
Do you think it's because we've completely gone out of our way to not embrace the technology?
Could be.
Might be.
But the funny thing is,
I might be about to.
Whenever I post, I get about 50 replies in 1 minute. So there are people following us.
Maybe we should start doing contests where if you follow us on Twitter, Steve will post something and the first 3 to respond or whatever get qualified. That would encourage more followership on Twitter. And then you would send updates about things we're going to do on the show, and people would say, wow, that's interesting, and then more people would listen to the radio show, and then everything else would be great.
We have 541 followers.
That is a lot less than 1 million.
Whoa.
I'll have to look up fellowship, by the way. Is that a real word?
I doubt it. No.
I bet by the end
I
of
would
the
say
day,
it's very unlikely.
What's our fellowship?
our fellowship is 541.
Oh,
It's like fellowship,
but not.
but not a real word.
A different word that's not real.
So if our fellowship could get over 10,000,
Well,
that would be an additional 9,500 from now.
We're at 541 now. I bet by the end of the show, we could beat a 550.
Wow,
No
that's
problem.
aggressive.
Well, I can't get over the fact that it's called Twitter. I don't even like saying the word.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds too silly to me.
It's a
Remember
little
the
dopey.
discussion we had in the office about what it was called when you posted an update? Whether it was called
Yeah, you can.
Well, yeah, what's his name did that on whatever show it was?
Colbert.
Today's show. Colbert.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You shouldn't be tweeting.
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
If you were sitting, and you said, I sat.
Right.
Change the letters. Change the word.
Well, it can't be twat. You can't say I twatted, can you?
No.
Sure. We have to say that. We can't say I.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, whatever. Yeah. Go twat yourself.
If I were to give you this quick quiz, this is an easy quiz. What do you think was the cause of the number one cause on the Internet of people downloading viruses to computers yesterday?
Porno.
What was, okay, didn't we do something? Oh, it was Aaron Andrews.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I know we got one here.
Apparently it was so massive that a lot of major websites were running stories about downloading the Aaron Andrews video from the variety of shareware sources that it was available through. That it was immediately, because people knew, the people that want to infect computers with viruses knew that would be one of the biggest viral video opportunities that everybody would be looking for yesterday. They immediately went and embedded it or used it as a decoy. Mm-hmm. And so they said millions of people downloaded viruses to their computer yesterday.
What is the benefit of people getting computers infected with viruses? I mean, how do they actually gain anything? Or do they just go, got them, you know?
I think
Yeah,
you
they
can-
don't get anything out of it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe
they
there's
just,
some-
they
they-
just enjoy
some
it.
spyware type of where they get ads forced onto people's computers in a certain way.
Yeah,
might
they
be able-
could. I mean, they could get some benefit. I guess there's several different reasons why people would do that. Some
Yeah.
people are just jerks.
just want to be
and
mean.
just like to
Yeah.
wreck computers, because that happens a lot, where it just
Yeah.
wrecks people's computers. You can put spyware on, or do some other subversive things with viruses.
Don't you? Aren't there some of them where they put some sort of spyware on your computer and then it keeps track of your keystrokes and they can do identity theft and stuff? So there are some that are
Yeah, that's true.
truly malicious for purpose, but it does
Definitely.
seem like the bulk of them are just there to point and laugh later and say, "Ha ha, your computer's broken.
Right.
Yeah, just to annoy you.
Go buy a new one."
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the computer companies. What if that's the case? Because that's what happens to me. Mine dies, and I go, I don't know what to do. I'll go buy one.
Yeah. Well,
That's the trick.
put in too many loopholes.
That's what it is. Would you like some insight into life in Iran if you're part of the is it the Basij, the high-ranking military, like sort of paramilitary police? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
No, I would not like insight on that, but I'm going to get it. Let's hear it.
You would not like insight on that. All right. Well, I don't want to do it.
No,
then.
I'm just kidding.
What do you guys got?
I'm just teasing.
This is pretty crazy. This guy was part of the People's Militia, founded in 1979. It's a volunteer force, subordinate to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, intensely loyal to Khomeini's successor, the current Khomeini. This person, who is married with children, spoke soon after his release by the Iranian authorities from detention. He had been held for the crime of having set free two Iranian teenagers, a 13-year-old boy and a 15-year-old girl, who had been arrested during the disturbances that followed the June election campaigns.
Okay.
So he released them. That got him arrested. And so now he's speaking out to sources in the Middle East. It says there have been many other police and members of the security forces arrested because they have shown leniency towards the protesters in the streets or released them from custody without consulting superiors. He pinned the blame for most of the ruthless violence employed by the Iranian security apparatus against opposition protesters on what he called imported security forces, recruits as young as 14 and 15 that had been brought from small villages into bigger cities where the protests have centered. 14 and 15-year-old boys given too much power,
Oh, yeah, that's great.
forcing people to empty their wallets, taking whatever they want from stores without paying, touching young women inappropriately. The girls are so frightened they remain quiet and let them do what they want. The youngsters and other plainclothes vigilantes were committing most of the crimes in the names of the regime, he said, and doing so with the backing of the regime.
So a 14-year-old walking around with a high-caliber rifle, doing whatever he wants.
Now, we've talked a number of times. What caught my eye with this article is this. We've talked a number of times about how it's a different world, and if a woman doesn't have at least 6 witnesses to her rape, then she ends up getting prosecuted. I don't know if that's the exact number, but it is something ridiculous like that. Women get raped or sexually assaulted, and then it's okay for their brother to kill them because she embarrassed the family.
Right.
Well, they do have one thing that I don't know that it makes sense, but the law was that they could not execute a woman if she was a virgin. Guess what the Iranians would do in that case?
What? Oh,
Force her to
Okay.
get married to the
right.
guard who would then rape her the night before her execution,
Yeah.
so that they could execute her with clear conscience.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was this
that's
guy's
a great world.
That was this guy's, not his job, his honor for many years. Because he was a loyal and good servant to that volunteer militia, he was given the honor, as his superiors were so impressed with him, that he was the one who would temporarily marry young girls before they were sentenced to death. A wedding ceremony is conducted the night before the execution. The young girl is forced to have sex with the prison guard, raped by her husband. Of course, it's under the guise that there is a marriage and it's all legal, so no big deal.
I
How's that
can't
for a
believe
different world.
I can't believe my dad used to live there.
Yeah.
I went what it was like because he was born in 1935, and he lived there. He was like 45, 1951. Back then, hell, it was a million times worse.
Probably.
Ugh,
Can't imagine.
jeez.
He said that In Iran, a man is deemed responsible for his own actions when he turns 13, but a woman is deemed responsible for her own actions when she turns 9.
What a
So,
Yeah,
place.
9-year-olds are always making awesome decisions.
By context, if a 12-year-old male had sex with a 9-year-old female and they both did it willingly, I know that seems ridiculous, the female, in that case, the 9-year-old, would be charged with raping the 12-year-old boy, and she would be murdered. Well, executed in this case.
This is crazy. Again, that country so needs to be invaded.
I don't see the two sides ever completely coming together. It seems very unlikely.
Gosh.
Yeah, their brains are broken.
Really? They
At least
really
the people
are.
in charge.
Well, I think generally the male populace there thinks that agrees with all of this. I don't think there's a lot of clear thinkers.
I don't know.
Brainwashed.
Maybe the young ones that were out in the streets protesting that have been educated throughout the world and enjoy their daytime lunches on the veranda at KFC and have gotten completely westernized. Maybe they're a little more enlightened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Listening to Huey Lewis in the news. The new hits from Huey Lewis.
Now, Joe, you're a huge Beastie Boys fan. Did you see the news of them?
I saw
Yeah.
one of them is sick.
MCA.
I know they're not doing Lollapalooza.
Yeah, he has cancer.
Whoa.
Parotid gland, which is a salivary gland. You have two. Here's a statement from one Adam Yauch, MCA.
So the reason that we're here talking is because I have some pretty heavy news, I guess, to say. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cancel a bunch of our shows coming up and actually push back our record release. About 2 months ago, I started feeling this little lump in my throat. They did tests, and I actually have a form of cancer in the gland that's over here. It's in a gland called the parotid gland, and it's also in a lymph node right in that area. This is something that's very treatable. In most cases, they're able to completely get rid of it, and people don't have continuing problems with it, and they've caught it early, and it's not anywhere else in my body. So that's the good news. So that's what's up.
Yeah, they say he's gonna make a full recovery.
Good.
Hopefully.
Good.
But, they got to cut that thing out and then do localized radiation treatment on his neck. They said it won't affect his voice. He'll be able to bust rhymes.
What if it does, though? What if he's on stage all retarded? They can't even do their hits anymore. No one cares. Everyone hates them.
I don't think
Maybe
I
that.
think that's the path this will all take.
Yeah, it probably will. Most likely.
Yeah, right.
Will immediately turn into everyone hating him.
No, probably not. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
I was going to go check them out.
Yeah, they've canceled a good portion of the upcoming stuff. And he actually, at one point in the press conference, apologized for getting cancer.
I'm sorry I got cancer.
Sorry, I got cancer, and I ruined a lot of your travel plans for people that were going to go and make their way. Now, Steve, you didn't see any of this because you were busy watching some people that live at your apartment complex box under an oak tree.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
You are surrounded by a couple of meatheads.
Apparently.
That
That's
live-
not the first time either.
That they've boxed?
No, it's definitely not. I remember I looked out one time maybe 2 weeks ago, and I thought that's what I saw because I saw boxing gloves sitting on the ground. But as soon as I looked out, they were already walking into the apartment. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I wonder what was going on. I just caught the tail end of it.
The two meatheads were already done then. They were going inside to make love.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. To bathe each other.
So, Steve, you had said that you looked out or you heard something that sounded like a heavy bag getting hit.
Yeah. And it turns out I was not far off. It was two guys boxing under a tree.
Were they? And they're punching a heavy bag, you said?
No, they each had gloves on. At first, the one guy had the gloves on, and the other guy had I don't know what they are.
The black padded gloves?
Oh,
Yeah,
the padded
yeah.
hands.
Yeah. And he's
That's
like
what he was doing.
He was training him.
sparring. And then I
Okay.
looked out a few minutes later, and they both had the gloves on, and they were actually fighting each other.
Oh.
Do they have headgear?
No,
No, you don't need that when your head is that thick.
That's probably true. I mean, we got headgear. You could take the headgear home from 15-second fight. You could take the ring bell. You should take the ring bell home, and the next time you hear them,
that
you
would be
could go
funny.
out on your little patio and ring it and say, all right, settle down.
Start
I
doing
will,
like
and
Jim
I'll-
Lampley.
And I have my video camera, and I'll
break
tape
it
the whole
down.
thing.
Or either that or put the headgear on, you're the gloves, and when they're not out there, just go start punching the tree and see if they're intimidated, and they come out and have a big fight fest with you. Glad I said fight there.
The idea that Steve just walks out with his boxing gloves like, hey, guys, what's going on?
Can I play?
Can I box too?
Like it's basketball.
Yeah, like it's that accessible.
Is this pickup boxing?
Hey, I got next. I got winner.
You just run up. They're in the middle of some sort of give and take, punch and be punched, and Steve just jumps in, and all of a sudden there's a third guy punching both of them.
That would make boxing in general more exciting.
It's like wrestling when you have a run-in.
Yeah, it'd be like a triple
Exciting.
threat match or three-way match when they all get together and beat each other up.
I like this idea.
There is a documentary that's going to be on HBO coming up later this month or early in August. And I don't know what it's called or what it's about. I just saw the tease for it at the end of the Ted Williams documentary that they've been running a lot lately. And it's about it's a couple fighters that, frankly, I had never heard of either one of them, but it starts out by saying, this should have been the greatest night of his life. He put on a show as one of the best boxers in the world. And then in the trailer, the teaser for this upcoming documentary, they start showing his opponent, and they show his manager saying, those are the gloves they gave us. And apparently his claim is someone tampered with his glove, and I don't know what was in it, but the other guy's face looked like monkey bread. One fight made him look like he was retarded.
Was it like cuts or welts?
Welts and lumps and they made it seem in the trailer
there's a bayonet on the end of the glove, and no one noticed.
I didn't notice.
They kept saying in the trailer, why wasn't this fight stopped?
A 12-inch Nazi dagger.
And they showed the guy, I think it was the guy that lost, based on how he sounded, like going up to another trainer saying, I'm just trying to figure out who did that to the glove, and he was broken, like movie broken.
He's stupid to begin with.
Certainly afterwards.
Well, of course, he's stupid to begin with. He's doing that.
He's boxing. Of
Joe,
course he's stupid.
Did you look it up?
I'm trying to find it. I don't.
Was it on what program again?
It's HBO. It'll be an HBO documentary.
It's just a documentary on this one particular fight.
Yeah, and I don't remember what it's called.
Well,
but,
I'll
it
be able to
pretty,
find this.
Pretty
good at this. Doctored gloves.
I think I don't know what the ramifications were. I think the guy that
the hilarity
was wearing the gloves ended up getting in trouble. Steve?
What can you really do to gloves, though? I mean, what could have... How could
I
they
don't
have
know.
been tampered with?
He claimed that those were the gloves that were given to him. I don't know what they're saying they put inside of it.
Put rocks in them or something?
I don't know, man. I guess. They showed the glove, and it looked like it had something in it that would have been malleable and then would have held its shape until it was beaten again.
Does the name Collins ring a bell with you?
It was an Irish guy that got beat up.
Wraps were doctored with plaster.
That sounds right.
Okay. Some boxer in 1983 just admitted he took all the padding out of his gloves and soaked his tape in plaster. I don't know what that...
I wonder if that's it. That would certainly make it a lot harder. I don't know. Certainly, 1983 looked like the era that this footage was from. So that would make sense. But that's going to be something pretty good.
Let's see here. Former welterweight Luis Resto has acknowledged that the beating he gave the late Billy Collins Jr. in 1983, in which over 10 rounds he pounded Collins with tampered gloves that each had 2 inches of padding removed, was even worse than previously believed. Resto, at a news conference on Thursday in New York, acknowledged that tape used to wrap his hands in that fight had been soaked in plaster of Paris, giving him a pair of hardened casts underneath his unpadded gloves.
Assault in the ring.
That's what it's called?
Okay. Collins suffered from blurred vision and depression after the June 16, 1983 fight. He died in a car accident about 9 months later.
I guess that wasn't him that I saw going from place to place asking who did that.
The same fight, though?
I think it is, yeah. Yeah, Joe, Assault in the Ring? That's what it's called?
Yes.
When does it debut?
It doesn't say.
I
couldn't find it on HBO.
It says
August 1st.
Eric Drath, who directed Cornered, the documentary about the fight and its tragic aftermath, unless this is a different incident, said it was a heinous and tragic crime that needed to be retold, according to a report in the Tennessean in Nashville. I don't know. I wonder if this is the same thing. Stories almost sound a little different.
They do. The only thing that makes me think it must be the same is the fact that in the trailer it was a Hispanic guy and an Irish guy, and certainly
Luis Resto.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's
too,
the
Jeff.
one. Yeah, that's got
maybe these stories were just coming together and then settled on a different name or something of the documentary or whatever. But
well, that story that you're looking at is old.
Yeah. Well, they probably did do that then.
So there could be something new that HBO put together. They might have jumped on the bandwagon. But wait till you see the video footage of what this guy looked like. It's no wonder that he suffered blurred vision and everything else they talked about there. When just in the trailer you could see that the incredible amount of damage, and it's hard to believe that the fight wasn't stopped. So
the guy throws one punch, and the Irish guy's head comes off virtually. Joe right now is going, wow, because he has seen something. I've got to see some pictures of this guy's mug.
You gotta sign in.
We'll take a look at that. We'll get to the flashback coming up in just a few minutes. It's the time we were joined about a year ago by Weird Al Yankovic. That's on the way. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Would you say that to Tom Petty?
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
It's funny, while we were gone, Steve played part of the best of. He played the interview, one of them, with Billy Bob Thornton, the one where Joe did his Halle Berry impressions. He couldn't have been a nicer, more fun guest. And then I think back to his behavior on that Canadian television show / radio show, where he was such an a-hole.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hard to believe. 1-800-947-3979. Steve has posted a trailer at freebeerandhotwings.com of that boxing documentary we were talking about between Billy Collins and Louis Resto. It's called Assault in the Ring. Was, in fact, the same one as the Cornered documentary that we were talking. They've just renamed it for this HBO package, but looks pretty compelling. That's going to debut on HBO coming up in August. The flashback today, Weird Al Yankovic joined us on the radio show. We are eagerly anticipating someone to join us in a couple minutes. That someone is Weird Al Yankovic. That's going to be pretty sweet.
Oh, man, this song is stuck in my head.
Already?
No, anytime I hear it, it gets stuck in my head.
It's one of his more controversial ones because of the whole snafu with permission from Coolio.
You don't want to piss him off.
Coolio said, stay away from me, man.
But last week, I just smiled at him, and I turned the other cheek. I really don't care. In fact, I wish him well. Cause I'll be laughing my head off when he's burning in hell. But I ain't never punched a tourist, even if he deserved it. And Amish with a tool, you know that's unheard of. I never wear buttons, but I got
done so many songs.
Oh, it's amazing.
What was the one that was recently like his first top 40 hit? Was it White and Nerdy?
White and Nerdy.
Is that the one?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know if we have that one. It just popped into my head. It's hard to believe that none of the other ones, like Eat It, it's a little surprising because that one to me seemed so mainstream at the time.
Yeah, it seemed like it got played all the time.
He did a cover of a song by the band Presidents of the United States of America. They had a hit song called Lump. Mm-hmm. And Al did Gump. Just funny.
The timing of it all, the fact that song and the movie, same time.
Was he in bread?
Gump was a big celebrity. He told JFK that he really had to pee. He never feels too dumb because his mom always told him stupid is as stupid does. He's Gump, he's kind of square.
You see that as we were getting ready for this, I saw Kurt Cobain referred to Weird Al as a musical genius. He said he's clever, yes, but he's a musical genius the way he makes it work. Yeah.
Wow, that's
pretty high praise. Cobain didn't throw compliments around.
No.
No.
I'm going to save the joke on that. Leave it at that.
Were you going to say something like like he didn't spray him around like he did bullets?
No, wasn't going to say that.
Brain?
Nope. I wasn't going to say a splattered brain joke. Boy, you know me, don't you? How about that? Free Beer knows me like a wife.
I was waiting for it.
Waiting for an Eric Zane joke bomb.
I wonder if Weird Al's ever done any Michael Hutchins songs.
Joe wants me to do it.
Let's do this thing.
No.
3.
No, I don't want to.
1.
I won't.
Can 5, 4,
no,
3,
can I think
2,
about it?
Now.
No, I
now.
won't.
Say it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Now.
No.
Do it now.
No. So what was it?
Do your joke.
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't going to know until I started. I never started.
We'll start right now.
No.
And see if you come up with something.
Let's do this thing.
No.
3, 2, 1.
I'm not going to do it.
5, 4,
No,
3,
I don't want...
2. Now.
No.
Now.
I don't
now.
want to.
Say it. Do it.
No.
Now. Do it.
Do it, baby.
I know.
Do it. Move to adjourn. Do it.
We're going to take a brief recess.
I refuse.
Do it.
I'm not going to do it.
What if we all sit silently and stare at you until you tell your hilarious Kurt
Look,
Cobain
I never
joke?
said... I didn't even start the joke. I don't have a joke. As typical to me, I would have just started to flap around
Want
and
me to
then...
set you up again?
Nope.
Yeah, Hotwings, I'll set him up again.
Okay, yeah, I think that's probably what it was called for.
Hotwings, did you hear that Kurt Cobain actually said that Weird Al's he's a genius?
No kidding.
You know, Kurt Cobain doesn't just hand out these compliments anywhere. He doesn't just spray compliments everywhere.
No.
We talked early this week. This week? Gosh, it all runs together. About Jesse Jackson and his comments that were overheard by microphones and witnessed by cameras.
It's right from Jesse Jackson.
When he was on the Bill O'Reilly show.
That was a great impression.
Yeah, that was.
He does kind of grumble.
Sounds like Elvis.
It's the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Oh, God. No.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more.
No. You stick your neck out, and sometimes you get your head chopped off.
Maybe it's not a performance problem, it's a content problem. Maybe if you just had a little more to work with.
You know how bad that feels? It's a terrible feeling.
Yeah.
If you listen closely, after you did your impression the first time, you did one of those... one of those.
I'm so funny.
I did a hilarious Frank Caliendo.
God, I'm great. God, I'm so hilarious. God. The F. What the hell is wrong with me?
I thought you sounded just like Jesse Jackson.
I wish you didn't have that so ready. So at the ready.
Wow.
It's the big laugh after I do it the first time.
It's
right from Jesse Jackson.
When he was on the...
All right.
So Weird Al. I think we got him.
All right, let's do it. Let's bring him in here.
Weird Al. That's a classic right there. He's got a lot of them. Weird Al Yankovic, welcome to the show. Weird Al, how are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
We are
Very
great,
good.
man.
Very good.
This is a big deal, Al. We adore your work.
Yep.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yep, grew up listening to Dr. Demento, which of course you did, and then got on. That's how you got your start, and so, yeah, it's a big thrill.
Yeah.
Well, yay.
I like that. And that one of the reasons that I think people like you, Al, is because we said this is a big thrill, and you said, is it?
Really?
That bleeds through, man. How about it? It's crazy to talk to you. I was just reading up on it, and even just as you've talked over the years in various interviews, what an unlikely path you have taken to this point where, 3 Grammys and 6 platinum records and 4 gold records and everything else.
And a lot of smiles, Al.
It's all been part of my life's plan. If I got enough Grammys and enough platinum albums, I figured that someday I'd be talking to you guys.
Yeah, that's what.
See,
I know.
Look at the culmination.
And now you have a home in the Hollywood Hills and a beautiful family, and everything's cool.
It's all just downhill from here. What can I say?
Will you tell everyone the story? I mean, it's the nutshell version of how you got started, because it's one thing to read it, it's another thing to hear it right from you. It's amazing how it happened.
Well, I got started through the Dr. Demento radio show. I was maybe, 14, 15 years old, and I heard this show, and I heard people like, Spike Jones and Alan Sherman and Stan Freberg, Tom Lehrer, all those guys, and I thought, wow, this is really cool. Comedy music, and this is great, and I can do this. And I wrote a few really stupid songs, and I sang them and played my accordion and recorded it on a cheesy little cassette tape recorder in my bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I sent it to the Dr. Demento show, and to my amazement, he played those songs on the air.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there.
Which kind of blew my mind, and I developed a cult following over the years, and even though I never thought I'd make a living doing that kind of stuff, by the time I graduated from college, I had another one, Rides the Bus, and My Bologna released as national singles, which so that was the start of it all.
Yeah, and when you did My Bologna, it was actually the Knack. It was the Feiger from the Knack who said, "Hey, I think you should talk to the record company and put this out as a single," right?
Yeah, the Nat came to did a concert at my college, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and I weaseled my way backstage, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, you're the My Bologna guy. Yeah, I heard you're singing on the Dr. Demento show." And he turned to the guy to his right, who happened to be the vice president of Capitol Records, and said, "You know, you got to put this Yankovic guy out on a single." And he said, "Okay, we will."
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
How
about that?
You know how many artists who toil for years to get what you got, and you did it like that. They must hate you.
Well, when you play the accordion, you lead a charmed life.
Yeah,
oh my God,
that's what I've heard.
Dude, that's such a trip. And when you first heard it on the radio, did you know it was coming, or were you just listening to the show and then boom, there it was?
Well, you know, when I first heard it on the radio, I didn't think I was actually hearing it on the radio. I thought, well, who turned the tape recorder on? What's going on here?
Oh my God!
Oh no, it's coming off the radio. This is crazy.
Al, that's amazing, man. I bet that. Plus, you're only 14, 15 years old. I would have gone through the roof.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
Man.
And then
I started banging my head into the walls.
Talking to Weird Al, of course. You can check out his website, weirdal.com. He's got events coming up tonight in Rochester Hills in Michigan, and then he's in Knoxville Saturday night. If you want to make the drive from Nashville, you can. For listeners in Lima, you can make the drive. Columbus on the 20th and Cincinnati on the 21st. And there are other shows that you can see. They're all listed, of course, at weirdal.com. Al, I thought it was very interesting. Once you got the band together and a club owner saw you and you said, "Hey, do these shows," and you went out and you opened for someone, that didn't go so well, did it?
Oh, you're thinking of the Missing Person show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just one show, but that was not my proudest moment on stage. It was at the Santa Monica Civic in California, about 3,000 people, and we opened for Missing Persons. So I enjoyed their music. They were kind of a new wave group at the time, and I thought, I'm sure that their audience would appreciate a guy with an accordion doing funny songs.
Wow.
That wasn't really the case. You know, the curtain came up, and the whole front row was wearing these spiked dog collars, and they were just a little bit more intense and aggressive than I thought, and basically we were pelted for about 45 minutes with anything that wasn't tied down.
Oh, my gosh. Who knew Missing Persons fans were so hardcore?
They were hardcore.
Not me.
How long was it before you got the sense that people were starting to catch on and that they were there maybe to see you?
Well, after the Missing Persons show, I decided that no matter how small the audience is, I don't want to be an opening act for a while. I want to be a headline act.
Yeah.
So the next time we went on the road, it was just you know, Weird Al Yankovic on stage, and at that point I figured, well, if they bought a ticket, they came to see me. So
that's cool. Yeah.
Success.
That makes sense. Talking to Weird Al, of course, weirdal.com, Weird Al Yankovic. Thousands of millions of albums sold over the years.
Al, you have a young daughter.
I do.
Is she getting into the music, workings with you? Is she starting to play the accordion, anything like that?
Well, she just started taking piano lessons, so I told my keyboard player on the road that he better watch his back.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
You could do like Van Halen.
She's into it. She actually seems to enjoy my music. In fact, she's a huge Star Wars fan, so she really loves The Saga Begins and Yoda, and when she comes out on the road to visit, she'll be on the side of the stage waving her lightsaber during those songs.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, Al, this is a great setup you've got. I'm telling you, this is awesome. Awesome.
Well, thank you.
When you're writing your songs, because everybody at some point in their car has been listening to a song and substituted a couple words and momentarily thought they were a comedic genius. But then when they share that with other people, they are quickly slapped back to reality by the fact that they have no more material after a 2-word rhyme. So is that kind of the writing process for you, except you finish the song, or do you pick out songs that are popular at this point and say, I got to find a way to make this work because this would be a great one, everybody knows this?
Yeah, well, that's the way it happens. I'll be driving along the freeway, and I'll hear a song on the radio, and I'll get a great idea, and I'll have to pull over and park by the side of the road, and I'll just stay there. I'll camp out for like 2 or 3 weeks until the song is completely written and arranged.
Yeah.
So it does hold up traffic sometimes.
Yeah,
It's all in the I'm trying to make art here. Come on.
Yeah, the Los Angeles traffic report, and we got a problem on the interstate as Weird Al is now off to the side of the road coming up with another great song.
Appears to be composing.
Standard construction on the 55, and Weird Al once again writing on Ventura.
Those I don't even know if any of those roads are in California.
Yeah,
They sound like
no, it
California
sounds
names.
good.
It sounded very California to me.
Great.
What?
You told me.
Yeah, Weird Al, over the years, because you've gotten to do so many different things, like the Simpsons and stuff, is there one thing that you look back on now, and a lot of times when we ask people this, they'll say either it's a charity event or whatever, but I think where you get to do so many things, so far from the architecture student or whatever when you were young at Cal Poly, that you've got to do. Can you put your finger on one thing, or is it too many to even list?
Well, there are quite a few. I mean, I've done a movie and a TV series, and maybe one day in my life I'll be able to do a successful movie or a successful TV.
Yeah. So you did a movie,
The Simpsons. I mean, I'll go with that as maybe the high point of my career to date. I mean, just to be in a recording booth with Homer Simpson is pretty amazing. And,
Yeah.
I mean, the Simpsons is a great show, and it's been great for a couple of decades. And it's the one thing in pop culture that I think is just going to be eternal. I think that there will be the Simpsons will be in syndication until the end of recorded history. So it's nice to be just a small part of the franchise.
Yeah, I can see that now. I was reading that after some of what happened with Coolio and Amish Paradise, you made a new personal policy to contact every artist yourself and speak to them on the phone. Has there ever been a situation like that where the people freaked out and were like, "Oh my God, Weird Al is calling me," because I know a lot of bands think they made it when they hear your songs,
Nirvana was quoted.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Has there ever been anybody who's like freaked out and said, "Oh my God, I got to get your autograph"? And because I would think at this point that would happen.
I wouldn't describe anybody as having freaked out on getting my phone call. And still, I try to contact the artist personally, but it kind of hasn't worked out that well. It's still sort of like my peeps talking to their peeps.
Yeah.
But I will occasionally get somebody coming up to me at a party, a celebrity, who will just say, "Hey, when are you going to do one of my songs?" And I never know if they're being sincere, or if they just had too many Long Island iced teas.
Right. Have you ever had to turn anyone down and say, "All right, this is the third time you've asked me. No one even knows that song. No one likes it."
The loser.
That'd be pretty sweet. Well, Weird Al, WeirdAl.com. So, Weird Al, we appreciate it, man. It's been great talking to you, and I hope you have about 10 more Grammys and a billion more records.
Are you kidding me? You'll be making tons of music, Al. Good deal.
Thank you, Al.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
See you, pal.
Weird Al. The one and only Weird Al. Steve was making fun of us for being so excited to talk to Weird Al. He hates Weird Al. Said Weird Al's a pansy, and everybody thinks he's a jerk.
Yeah, he said that in the office.
He might not have said all of those things.
Yeah.
Just some of them. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
I don't need to know how you are doing anal intercourse.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Hot Wings Zane?
Yeah.
What happens if you're a criminal or maybe a little bit insane and police tell you to settle down, but you continue pouring gasoline on yourself?
Yeah. Oh, gasoline?
Yep.
Oh my God.
And then you charge at the police officers.
Well,
That seems like a shooting or...
How about a tasering?
Uh-oh.
Ooh, that seems bad.
What happens if you tase someone who's already covered in gasoline?
This is what happens.
Oh, my God.
It's like a Pepsi commercial.
That's what happened in Australia, man. Police were called to the scene at a gas station, a petrol station, as they say.
Wow.
And the guy was dousing himself with gasoline and holding a knife, which makes him threatening.
Yeah.
So then when he ran towards the police officer with knife extended, the police officer, following protocol, no special note in the handbook that says don't tase someone if they've doused themselves in gasoline.
Yeah.
And clearly the man went up in flames.
Oh, please tell me that there's surveillance
Not
footage
so
or
far.
dash cam or something.
At least not in the two stories that I looked at that this was linked on. But
I mean, sure, I'm sure it's awful, but I still want to see that.
well, no one made him do it. That is great.
I want to see. I too want to see it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to look fantastic. If we find it, it'll be up on freebeerandhotwings.com. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show with Free Beer.
I went to my senior prom alone. I slip on, I don't know, used French fry, water, fall flat on my face, land cheek first, and start crying. I realized I was shooting a free throw and my wiener was hanging out.
What? Your penis was hanging out?
All of my coworkers, after I left,
Had to discuss how I smelled like poop.
Yeah.
But I had to look at him and watch him put his fingers in my feces and then put them by his nose. I lied. That's my poop.
Hot Wings.
The very first time that I had sex, it lasted 10 seconds. I was forced to go to the blackboard with a gargantuan chub for purposes of self-pleasure.
Eric Zane.
I was wearing my best parachute pants, white high-top kangaroos with the tongues pulled out, great big fat fluorescent laces, and a Ghostbusters muscle shirt. Your pants are so tight that we can all see your penis. My pants are too tight.
Everyone can see my testicles.
Producer Joe.
You are an effing hack. I puked all over the place. Kiss me. Make out with me. You just puked. No, I didn't. I had a rager. It was just there. I pulled it up. I exposed myself to an 8th grade girl.
Talk about a boner.
And Steve.
It was my own vomit going straight up in the air, hitting the bed above me, and then dripping back onto my face. Pooped my pants one time. Definitely way too old to be pooping your pants.
It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Steve, do the sexy dance.
Wow.
Can you imagine if there's some radio station general manager in, I don't know, Albuquerque listening going, we're thinking about a syndicated show for the new Albuquerque rock station. Let's check these guys out online. Let's stop checking them out online. That's funny.
Highly concentrated references within that.
Yeah, those were bad enough when they were in context, let alone out of context.
That is going to make Peter go crazy.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. A lot to get to on this Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. Website, already stuff up there that we've put up today that you can check out at freebeerandhotwings.com. In a moment, we're going to relive what was the Al Roker interview. If you didn't hear it, you might be saying, well, why would they revisit an interview with Al Roker? Well, obviously something happened. We'll tell you about that coming up. Also later this hour, Stephen Hawking sings. And we're going to be looking for the parent who took the youngest child with them to Bruno. This is inspired by a radio guy I know he has a 12-year-old son that he took both to see The Hangover and Bruno.
Oh, my gosh.
I couldn't handle that, man.
The Hangover with a 12-year-old, that's questionable. I'd say, well, I guess it's up to you and your relationship with your son and how open you are. But Bruno, man, I don't know how you justify that with a 12-year-old in any case.
You shouldn't take any 12-year-old to either of those movies.
I certainly wouldn't.
No, come on. What's wrong with you, man?
I was surprised.
14, 15, maybe.
Yeah. So we'll see if anybody can come close to. And maybe, and when you do that, I'm hoping that the person that would call and say, yeah, I took my 11-year-old to see Bruno or whatever. I would hope that you would have some sort of reason, some sort of justification other than just, I don't care about my child.
Yeah.
I would hope that that's not it.
Did you hear The Hangover became the highest grossing R-rated comedy of all time over this past weekend?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that.
$200-some million. It beat out I think it was Beverly Hills Cop.
Wow.
I didn't realize that was rated R.
Do you think Lindsay Lohan at this point regrets turning down that role, the Heather Graham role, as we mentioned?
Heather Graham was the one who married Dude, right?
Yep, married Ed Helms in the film. Lindsay Lohan, her agent is the same agent to the guy that did that movie, Todd Phillips. And he had approached Todd Phillips and said, hey, if you could give Lindsay a break and let her be one of the main female characters, I guess you'd call that the female lead in this film. There weren't
said
many.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
they agreed.
And eventually he said, yeah, okay. They sent her the script, and she came back and said, I don't think there's anything going on here.
Oh, no.
I'm not doing it.
Ooh.
So it went to Heather Graham, who had been languishing under the obscurity of the last time she was seen publicly. Her TV show was canceled after one episode, and a not-so-enthusiastic promo from Keith Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
She'd done a few other movies since then, but nothing that was mainstream like this.
No, hell no.
So, way to go, Lindsay. Nice job. So we'll get to all that coming up. We got an email yesterday regarding that young soldier that's been captured by the Taliban that we have to share. And at first glance, I would have thought, well, that can't be many people who would feel that way. But the more stuff I read online yesterday, maybe that's the case.
No, I don't believe they were so over-the-top harsh. I agree that because when we talked about the what you gave me as some of the info surrounding his capture, I thought, how the hell did this guy go about getting captured? That's what I actually said on the air to you.
Yeah.
And when you described it to me, I went, boy, it seems weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't by any stretch think this. I mean, some of these opinions are way over the top.
Yeah.
You can't say that. This guy has family.
They really are. Also, 2 new segments debut today. One is called, one is sort of like Divorce Court. If you remember Divorce Court, you would call in, tell us the scenario that happened between you and your significant other, and then we would guess whether or not you've gotten divorced because it was, in fact, we'll no doubt someday do that again. It's always amazing to hear some of the things that people make it through and then other people that bail at whatever.
Yeah.
But today it's something different. You will tell us the story, and then we have to guess whether it led to a fist fight, sex, or nothing. So the segment is referred to as fist fight, sex, or nothing.
Because, a lot of times people, I can't imagine this. They'll be in the middle of a fight. I mean, at the height of it. And then they will stop whatever they're doing, no matter what, and have sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have anger sex.
Yeah.
You see it in movies sometimes, too, when you go, God, does that really happen? People do that? Because that's never happened with me.
No, me neither.
I know that.
But I bet it does happen.
I mean, I've had makeup sex a few times. That happens where, you have a fight and then you cool down and then, in the apologies, it leads to something else. But I've never had just anger sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I hate you so much, let's do it.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that. Fist fight, sex, or nothing.
Okay.
We also debut another segment.
Oh, boy, this is going to be good.
Called Other Shows' Poorly Written Skits. There is a couple of different, I don't know, I guess you could call them radio clubs that we belong to where people share their ideas. Some people share really good ideas. Other people share skits that they write that while they may work where they are, they don't. They certainly wouldn't work anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a very old school kind of concept that radio shows have done for a long time where they actually write basically a skit.
Mm-hmm. And so whenever I see these where somebody takes their time to retype out this stupid skit, I always wonder, who uses these?
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you present them in a forum where other radio people are sharing their ideas and you have to do the same? What makes you think that this is a presentable idea to other radio shows? It's not.
Because the idea is that you would present an idea and someone would look at that and go, ooh, I could put my own spin on that.
Yeah, let's say so-and-so and so-and-so in the morning in Tampa has a sign ordinance that's making news. Okay? And they come up with a clever angle to do a skit. And they do the skit. Fine. That's great for whatever station in Tampa. And then they they actually transpose it on a paper or a document and then upload it. Like, what makes you think so-and-so and so-and-so morning show in Madison, Wisconsin would have any interest in this bit whatsoever? They don't.
Well,
Nobody does.
Today's sketch involves, and Joe and Steve will always be the actors, and occasionally the three of us, but Joe and Steve are the primary. They're the leads.
Yeah.
Be the characters male, female, black, white, Asian, whatever, young, old.
So we're going to basically do what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great.
They're presenting it. We might as well. Now, what is the show that we're going to be going?
I don't think I'll be telling you that.
Oh, really?
Though I have noticed,
they presented it.
I've been saving all of these sketches for the last month or two, and I had no idea, but they're all from the same show. So it should
Wow,
be
what a shock.
one specific show's poorly written skits.
This is
But
always
today, one of either Joe or Steve will be playing Michael Jackson, and the other character, I don't want to tell you who they're playing yet because it's so unique and specific that, well, frankly, no other radio show would have that character. So it'll be very difficult for Steve or Joe to channel that character.
Will we see?
I know. I can tell you this: it's based on a character that a comedian did who hasn't worked since I was in high school. So this will be really good.
Oh, my God.
Father Guido Sarducci.
No.
I can actually think of a couple, so I don't want to guess.
Okay. Now, this go ahead.
What are we going to see the loser radio show when we go to Nashville for radio camp? Will the losers be there?
They may, in fact, be there. I have never met them.
Oh, good. Then tell us who it is. Come on now.
Because as soon as I tell them, I will tell you the state and the state only.
Okay, what state?
What city?
I regret saying that. I would tell you the state.
What state is it?
What station?
West Virginia.
Well, that's a little state.
I don't know.
It is a little state.
Yeah,
the
there's
radio
not that
shows
many.
in West Virginia.
I don't know one. I agree.
Huntington?
I actually don't know the city offhand. I'll be able to tell you later.
But you know the name of the show, so tell us.
Yeah.
I do know the name of the show.
Look it up online so we can listen to them and make fun of their breaks.
That I will not do. In fact, I'm never going to reveal to you the name of the show. Now, this segment is going to have a snappy intro. Joe, do you think everyone would be excited if I played the snappy intro right now?
Sure.
All right. This will set up the bit for the bit that is going to happen a little bit later on, guessing 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central Time, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show presents other people's poorly written skits.
Who doesn't want to be a part of a segment that has that sort of gloss?
That's
quite
got
a
good
fanfare.
Cliff Notes Theater feel to it, Joe. I like it. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. That's obviously a heavy hitter right there.
Mm-hmm.
I got enough scripts that we could do one of these 4 times.
Okay. Four of them.
Well, by the time we get done with that, these inbred idiots will no doubt have posted many more bits.
I'm not going to lie. I can't imagine this guy's going to be employed that long.
He will, too. You know how
he
bad...
will be.
Oh, my God.
Who's clamoring to go to Wheeling?
There's so many idiot general managers out there that would hire these boobs. They'll be on in New York City in about 6 months.
They'll probably replace us.
Probably. That's all we do these days to get replaced.
In the future, Joe and Steve will be taking on such meaty roles as Harry Potter, News Guy.
Oh, that's a good one.
I want to be news guy.
Boy, if it's been in the news any time in the last 20 years, this guy, finger right on the pulse.
Who? The host?
Yeah, the host.
Of what show?
Of this radio show we're speaking of
in West Virginia?
That's right.
In what city?
The one there by the place.
There are no cities in West Virginia.
That's the thing.
Villages.
Try to think of one.
Mm-hmm. Hamlets. What hamlet?
Which holler is this guy from?
What burg?
4 stoplights in West Virginia.
Number 1 giveaway on the show, Mountain Dew and Turbo Mountain Dew. It's a fact. In a little while, we're going to tell you about an athlete, a superstar athlete, big name, that has had a civil suit filed against him for sexual assault. Pretty surprising. Not someone you would expect.
A civil suit, not criminal charges.
Exactly. Which immediately, to me, makes me think that it's crap. Because if it were real, you would go for a criminal charge first.
Right.
I would hope.
I would think, yeah.
I would think. So we'll tell you who that is coming up in a little while. But we want to share with everyone the Al Roker interview/incident. On the line, we'll get to our Friday top 5 moments. This time, Steve dictates that it is the top 5 most embarrassing moments of all time. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. Don't forget, coming up, we'll get to what Hot Wings thinks. Also, a couple of 911 calls, including a guy that called to make an announcement about a crime that he was going to do. Well, right now, you remember him. If you see him daily on the Today Show. You see him all throughout the, pretty much every place on NBC, and also going to be seeing him on the Weather Channel. The one and only Al Roker. Hi, Al.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Very good. How are you?
Well, doing good. You know, it's Friday, getting ready for the weekend, looking forward to it, and we Monday start off a brand new show on the Weather Channel, so pretty exciting.
It's pretty good. Waking Up with Al, which
That's
is
right. Wake Up with Al, 6 a.m. Eastern Time. On the Weather Channel, and we're going to kind of be doing it's almost a weather version of the Today Show. We're going to try give you the news and weather you need to get out the door. Thanks to the folks at CNBC and MSNBC, we're going to do your forecast, and then we're going to try to have a little fun. We're going to be waking up celebrities with wake up calls. Regular folks we're going to be calling.
You're going to wake them up.
A segment we call "Take It or Leave It." Should you take the umbrella? Should you leave it? Just try to have a little fun with the weather.
What came first, the Weather Channel or you doing weather?
I started doing local television weather back in May of 1974 when I was a sophomore in college.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you said sophomore in college?
Yeah.
You got your first paying gig then?
My first paying gig. In fact, I was putting myself through school. I was working at 2 radio stations and doing weekend weather.
What type of music?
I was playing on one station. It was adult contemporary, and the other one was easy listening.
We got to get those tapes, Al. Seriously.
Do you still have them?
And I love radio. In fact, I did a morning when I was doing the Today Show. When I was doing the weather in Cleveland, the 5, 6, and 11 o'clock news. I also did a morning show on what was then WGCL.
No kidding.
Cleveland.
Al Roker joins us. Al, there's a lot of things we want to ask you about, but amongst you start out as the weather guy on the Today Show, but your role has expanded beyond that, and you've done so many different things. But something we played actually the audio from this interview recently, and I don't know if you'll describe it as one of your favorite moments, but we sure liked the way you handled it, and that was your interview with Heidi and Spencer Pratt.
You seem really upset at them, Al.
No, to be just the contrary. I wasn't upset with them. I just wanted to,
annoyed
an answer from them.
You seemed like they were, and I don't blame you. I'm glad you were, but I don't think anything got through to those people. Either they're really, really good at acting because they got a lot of people to talk about them. Maybe they're experts at manipulating because for a show that really ain't all that great, everybody talked about it.
Well, but I think they overplayed their hand because I think at this point almost nobody's talking about them. In fact, Ryan Seacrest told me they ran a poll on E News, should they cover Heidi and Spencer anymore? And 87% said no, so they don't even cover them now.
Yeah, everybody hates them. I mean, they're so annoying.
Yeah,
and I think that just kind of put it over. They jumped the shark with that.
I think so, and everybody so empathized with how you were feeling because you sort of had a look on your face that said, are you for real? Because it almost seemed like you wouldn't have minded shaking them by their lapels. Well, I would have cheered you.
It's almost, look, I'm as he pointed out, I'm elderly. So I thought, I must be, old. But I felt like, I wanted to tell, like being their parent, like, come on, snap out of it.
Absolutely.
This is not the way you behave. I mean, if my 7-year-old behaved like this in public, I'd swat him on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It's come on.
Al, sorry, go ahead.
Al Roker joins us from the Today Show and the new show starting Monday. Wake Up with Al. That's on the Weather Channel nationwide, 6 Eastern.
This is a weird question, but when you see hurricane season approaching, what do you foresee this year?
Well, so far it's been pretty quiet, and it looks like it will be a below normal hurricane season. Thank God.
How do you know? Is it all
you're looking at past performance does sometimes predict future performance, and you look at weather conditions and that are like this, and we have a weak El Nino this year, and so it's a little bit different. So it looks like it'll be lower than normal. Oh my gosh! You know what? I've got to get. They're calling me to get back into the studio. I've got to run.
You mean you've got to do your real job?
Take the phone in there. Would you immediately?
Just keep it in your pocket.
If it was cordless, I would bring it in with me.
Well, Al, thank you very much for coming on with us.
Hey guys, listen. Have a great weekend.
All right, Al.
Thanks.
Al Roker. Guess he is working today.
I got some explaining to do, don't I?
No, that was great.
No, yeah, that was awesome.
That was really good. I really enjoyed getting ready to introduce the guest right as you played a stupid jerk song. Right before I have to then say hello. I nearly walked out of the room. I nearly picked him up, pointed at you, and left the room.
It was apt, wasn't it?
Hot Wings, would have you gone with me?
No, it's not apt.
It's a clever song. And it sounds good, and it has his name in it.
Hey, hey, hey.
Does it not?
It's Fred Albert, and I'm going to sing a song for you. And Bill's going to show you a thing.
Am I alone? Am I an island?
Well, he's not fat anymore.
Well, then
His name's
Al.
And he's talked about his stomach stapling surgery. One of the things they usually say when Al Roker goes on radio shows is that he doesn't want to talk about that because it's old news and he's got other stuff going on.
Oh, it says here, do not reference his weight.
Probably.
I didn't see
Even
that.
if he did talk about it, it would probably be fairly offensive.
Yeah,
if,
I mean, he's a
you're
pretty
notoriously nice guy.
Joe, did you hear that silence after you heard? It was like...
Yes.
Seriously,
it was
I was
palpable.
Nearly out the door.
Yeah.
Hot Wings, what would have you done? If I walk, you staying with Zane?
No, he'd have left.
You staying on that ship?
I don't know what I would have done.
He would have left.
I would have just sat here and went.
Did you hear me? I ended up. Not only was there silence, but I ended up promoting. I almost made stuff up to promote to put more time between a whole song and introduction of Nice Guy from TV. You know he heard it. He was on hold. The station goes right onto the phone.
Well, that's just all I heard, though. I'm sure he didn't know by just this.
Yeah, it's hardly a signature line from a notorious song or show when he was alive.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have put that together. Well.
Joe had said he had a song for the start of the interview. And at first,
his was no better. His was Al Roker has chocolate nipples, and there's no way we would have played that.
Mine was Today Show music.
Yeah,
at first, I was
music
looking.
Would have made sense. Or maybe you can call me Al. I don't know anything besides the Fat Albert theme.
For a moment, I was looking down, and my head snapped up, thinking that was the music that Joe had suggested. Joe, thank God you were reacting with the same horrified look as everyone else.
Joe busts his ass.
I would have wanted to murder you.
Talk to these people.
It's been a while since we've had a big guest, certainly live on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Joe busts his ass, gets a good guest, and you try to wreck it by offending one of the nicest men in America.
That's the thing.
He is a national treasure.
I agree. Come on this show, it's not like I was trying to take away his birthday. You're acting like I just stabbed him in the face with a knife.
No, we're not.
You're all completely overreacting. You're Ericing is what you're doing. Boy, Joe was really awkward in there. You should have seen him. I think he's having the worst time with this.
Steve?
I thought it was awkward, but I still laughed a lot.
All right. See, you're coming around.
I'm converted.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have done it.
The thing is, I only knew I was getting...
Stop laughing if somebody else does.
Look, I knew I would only get about this far before you'd pot it down, because I can't control the volume. So I knew what I was getting myself into. I didn't expect you to play it. Where we get to the part where it goes, Fred Albert.
I wish that I would have let it play, said, Al Roker is here, click, and then went outside. That would have been fantastic.
Well, it went exactly as I planned it would. I knew you would only let it go that far. I knew it would make everybody awkward, and I absolutely intended that. I did not. I didn't intend you to go, ha ha, good one. I knew that wasn't going to happen. But now I'm happy. Joe, your thoughts? Any thoughts? Anything?
No. I don't know.
You're acting like I made fun of his children.
No, I'm not. I don't know which way to go because I normally would find it funny, but then,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On the other hand, you don't have to worry about.
It's funny when you don't know
people like Al Roker on.
You know them. You have to deal with these people.
I think you didn't have to. You had less ramifications from your incident than anyone else. Well, certainly out of Joe and I.
Yeah.
No, I just reaped the rewards of watching everybody uncomfortable.
No, it's funny when you don't know him. It's not funny when you're about to talk to him. Mm-hmm. You're about to know him.
No, it is funny.
Maybe earlier when we said Al Roker's coming up, if we had heard that then.
Yeah.
Al Roker will join us in the next segment.
Watching Free Bear go, and and have no idea where he was because he was too mortified. That was very fun. That was ridiculously fun. And then scanning over to Hot Wings, shaking his head at me. Joe, face in hand, going, oh no! Steve looking at me with disgust, and then laughing.
I don't know what makes this different. But it is. You know?
Yeah.
For some reason, this is different.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, you guys are acting like I just, killed his children.
Well, you do have some support.
Okay, what do we got?
Zane, you are hilarious. They are totally overreacting. Awkward is awesome. Free beer, eat a D. Buzz Killington.
Oh, well, now that's overreacting back. By them.
I stand by my reaction.
No, I do too. I'm glad it went the way it did.
Steve?
I was okay with it when he bailed early, though.
Oh, because, that was weird.
Yeah, that was kind of a bummer. I didn't know we were going to have like 3 minutes.
That was unfortunate.
Well, and in fact,
I didn't like how he came in and just busted out what his show was. Normally we do that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he felt like he needed to do it because it was an ambush. Maybe
he may have had his.
Maybe no one was calling him because, frankly, I haven't seen him on the Today Show today.
He's not there right now. Maybe he was taping a cut in.
Maybe.
I asked it. He is working today.
He is.
Before.
Okay.
And we did hear somebody in the background.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, and I think our rapport with him was fine once we were actually talking to him. So. I don't think
over
it
the
was
phone,
that,
this is all it was. It would have been difficult to hear. Watch, he hears it every time. He's crying now.
He's probably listening online.
He's on TV right now.
There he is. He's actually on there right now.
Doing a cooking show about food. I guess it was right.
Tears streaming down his face.
He does.
Can you imagine?
He looks pretty upset.
I'm amazed at Joe's new compassion. You're right. It is. It shouldn't be different, but it is.
I don't know. Well, the thing is I actually, for some reason, really like Al Roker.
You're offended on his behalf.
Yeah, if we had
you will make fun of retarded children, but yet you're offended at Al Roker.
If we were about to have Spencer Pratt on, and he was fat, and there was a song called Fat Spencer, I would have been all for playing that.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying about Joe, though. I mean, Joe can
absolutely.
be the most vicious.
There's a reason that I thought Joe was in on this and started to look at him also. There is a history that would suggest that maybe Joe would be one to jump in on going too far.
Certainly.
You lead the league in having to hit the dump during the show without saying swear words.
I agree with everything you just said.
Oh, man.
I don't even have a problem with it because of Al Roker's feelings. I have a problem with it because then there's the mess that falls into not exclusively my lap, but mostly my lap. Mm-hmm. That's the problem I have with it.
The pause was perfect because it hit, and then there was... And then... coming up, Thursday Top 4.
Thursday Top 4.
What Hot Wings thoughts? And
maybe on the back. Maybe on the back with Steve, if you could pull that moment.
Oh, without a doubt.
I would like to hear that
awesome.
again.
It was a great pause.
I think I will actually
up.
enjoy it in hindsight. But at the moment, I wanted to hit you with my car.
I knew. I said ahead of time to you guys off there, I got music to set up the bit.
In fact, as we were coming back from the break, I held up a note to Zane to indicate that Al Roker was on hold because I wanted you to know that we needed to get his intro music going right away.
Yeah.
So that we could get him on the air because the clock was ticking.
Right. Which meant he was listening to everything that happened ahead of time until we actually transferred the line and turned it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the awkwardness was hilarious. It was exactly as I didn't like having to sit through the awkward stares during the interview. Craig writes, I heard the music, heard the silence, and immediately realized Roker had been on hold listening to the show. OMG, was that awkward. But the segment is worth it. Zane, thank God you're a callous a-hole. You want to hear it?
I do want to hear it.
All right. I have the pause, the silence clocking in at nearly 5 seconds. Are you kidding me?
Well, I would have never guessed it was that long.
That's an eternity.
Okay, so Al Roker's on hold. Free beer. We're just thinking this is a run-of-the-mill interview. Let's bring him in for a few minutes, chit-chat, break up the show, and then move on to the next segment. Easy.
Yeah.
No one is suspecting the curveball I'm going to throw by playing Fat Albert theme as Al Roker is introduced to the radio show. I know full well I'm in deep S.
Yeah, we're expecting to hear "You Can Call Me Al" or maybe "Couldn't Stand the Weather" from Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know, something that revolves
the
around
Today Show thing.
Al, Today Show, or weather.
Fat Albert.
Not. Definitely not.
I knew no one would find it funny except myself. At least at the time being.
Yeah.
You may think now, but here it is.
On the line, we'll get to our Friday top 5 moments. This time, Steve dictates that it is the top 5 most embarrassing moments of all time. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Don't forget, coming up, we'll get to what Hot Wings thinks. Also, a couple of 911 calls, including a guy that called to make an announcement about a crime that he was going to do.
See, that also, you didn't lose your mind there. You sounded together.
Right now, you remember him, you see him daily on the Today Show. You see him all throughout the, pretty much right there was a manifestation of the frustration right there.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I heard the paper shuffle in there. I heard you.
Him all throughout the, pretty much every place on NBC, and also going to be seeing him on the Weather Channel, the one and only Al Roker. Hi, Al.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Oh, man, that was awesome.
Go back to the, right there. That it is the top 5 most embarrassing moments of all time. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com.
How do you put up with that? I don't know. Pain in the ass.
That 4.5 second pause. In my mind, I said so many bad things about you in that time.
God,
if there were no FCC violations, I would have let go a string of obscenities that I would be embarrassed by now, but I would have been thrilled by at the moment.
You work with a child.
It's so amazing how every email goes back and forth, too. Literally back to back. Zane is great. Zane is a F.
Yeah, they really are.
I mean,
they really are. Everybody's either mad at Zane or mad at me for being mad.
Don't be mad at Free Beer. Come on now. It's human nature.
Oh, I don't mind.
Leave Zane alone. Don't mock Al. Great job, Zane. Zane is a prick.
It really is. It's as close
literally.
They're all true. I don't argue with any of those statements.
That's funny, because if somebody asked me about this later, I'd go, well, it's a double-edged sword. You get him to be impulsive on this. You get him to be impulsive when he does dumb things. It all balances out.
Steve, your thoughts. You look like you want to say something.
I'm just like the emails. I'm going back and forth every minute. I either agree or disagree, but regardless, I still think it's hilarious.
Most embarrassing moments of all time. 1-800-947-3979. You can email.
What a classic pause.
If you had asked me how long that pause was, I would have said it was about like this. 1-800-947. But it's not. It's considerably longer than that.
Man. Historic.
Now referred to, as we go back to real time, the Al Roker incident.
I can't wait for my next prank. The next time we get a live guest, I try to pull out some music that'll make you go, oh.
Well, you got to be careful not to cry wolf, because at some point we'll just stop trusting you, and we'll have the music loaded in something we control.
Yeah, but then we won't have great moments like that.
But if we know, but the joy of that one was the surprise.
Right, that was the surprise. You're right. It just happened to fit. In fact, I didn't think of it till we went into the commercial break prior to it. I went, oh boy, he's big. I should play that Fat Albert theme. And then it dawned on me, his name matches with the song. It's perfect. It didn't even. That wasn't a long-term premeditation. It was definitely premeditated, but only by minutes, by absolute minutes. Because 30 seconds after I thought of it, Joe came in and said, I can't think of any music. I went, I got one.
I mentioned later in that day that the part of me that loves pranks loves it now.
Yeah.
Once the initial awkwardness was gone, I like it. I like it in the same way I liked when we scared you, or when we'd play a prank on one of the interns or something like that.
God, that pause is just Amazing.
The pause was very legit. In a moment, Stephen Hawking sings. A reminder, you're invited to the Chevy Open House. You can get into a new Chevy with low, straightforward pricing on the remaining 08 and 09 models. It's simple. The price on the tag is the price you pay. Go to Chevy.com/open house for details. Excludes Corvette ZR1 at participating dealers only. Stephen Hawking sings. Next, your chance to get qualified for the refurbished laptop from thirdorb.com. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
I'm a man trapped in a woman's body. I need a penis.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
On the website, we'll tell you about a special surprise for VIP members later on today.
Yeah.
We got an email the other day. Never mind. Scratch that.
Ripcord.
Scratch that editorial. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Later on, we'll tell you which athlete has a civil suit filed against him today for a sexual assault. Not someone you'd expect. Not that there are some athletes that you... Well, no, I take it back. There are some athletes where you'd say, yeah, if they get charged with sexual assault, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. By the way, it's worth mentioning, since you mentioned athlete, Michael Vick is now a free man. He has finished his sentence for the dog fighting thing. So now apparently he has a meeting with the NFL commissioner, and I don't know how that's going to go. No one's revealing anything about reinstatement or anything like that. But
I heard Chris Mortensen from ESPN saying yesterday, well, even if he gets cleared, while there are plenty of teams that would take a chance on him as a sort of a practice squad level player that could eventually, because it's 2 years since he played, you don't know what sort of skill set he's going to bring back, what kind of shape he's in.
Yeah.
But he certainly is a guy that has great potential.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of teams that could see where that, if you took just some other athlete with that skill set and that set of physical ability, they would sign him in a heartbeat and take a flyer on him. But with him, the baggage that's going to come along, and he said it specifically in a down economy where
I heard that
any team that signs him has a chance of losing major sponsors.
Not me.
Losing season ticket sales.
I would buy a ticket to see him. Just to see him. Just because.
I'd be out.
Just because a comeback's a great story. Everybody loves the comeback. He's paid his price. He's if he remains repentant, I would be pleased. Now, you get guys like a Pac-Man Jones who keeps screwing up and doing the same behavior over and over again. It's kind of, ridiculous.
Yeah.
But if Vic has fixed it and is a better person because of it, I'm all for him. And he changes his tune. I don't know if he can. We'll see.
Yeah.
But everybody loves a comeback, so if this guy does make it happen, that's good.
Certainly we've learned to never say never. Ray Lewis was charged as an accessory to murder, and he ended up being on the cover of Madden NFL Football a couple of years later. So
yeah.
And there was a time where I think we would have said Ray Lewis will never be a popular.
Right.
He'll certainly never do endorsements for Gatorade or anything. I mean,
right.
I would have said that I would have been as sure as a heart attack that that would never happen.
Are you saying so? If the Lions, our team, signed Vic, you would you wouldn't go to any games, you wouldn't watch the team, you wouldn't wear their gear?
True.
No kidding. Wow,
Yeah.
That's strong.
I'd be done.
Yep.
Of course, they haven't given me many reasons to not be done, but even if they had been good,
Yeah.
that would be an issue for me.
Yep.
And I heard somebody comparing it to Dante Stallworth. To me, those two things are apples and oranges. Dante Stallworth, also what he did is ridiculous and stupid. The fact that he didn't even do the 30 days, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was released early.
Really?
Yeah.
He was?
After 24 days.
Jeez.
But they're apples and oranges because, he made a terrible mistake. And certainly, if you just compare the death of that person to the death of the dogs, well, certainly the death of a person is worse than the death of the dogs. But the intent on the crime, if Dante Stallworth repeatedly went out and hit pedestrians for enjoyment, then you could compare the two and say that what he did was considerably worse.
Yeah,
It's
you're
the
right.
fact
Yeah,
that
I don't think
it's
they're
the fact
comparable.
that Michael Vick was repeatedly doing what is pretty
Very,
barbaric
very bad.
Yeah, it's
over and over and doing it for enjoyment.
Yeah, it's the intent, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
terrible.
to me, that's what makes it worse. Not that dogs are more valuable than people, because that's
You know what?
That's a fallacy argument that
I
people
think
try.
he should really go out of his way to have a press conference talking about how stupid he is for what he did. I think he really needs to come clean even more so, because I don't know if he has.
That stuff plays well.
It sure does.
You're right.
When you're frank and honest with your poor behavior, people tend to see a human side to what you've done, and if this guy has any sense, I think he should do that.
You'd think you'd see him on 60 Minutes.
Unless he hasn't
like
changed.
That. Yeah, he probably, he may not get it.
He might not.
He might be
like
able to easily
Pac-Man.
say, yeah, I mean, geez, I'm really sorry. But he might just go, I still don't know why anybody thinks it's a big deal. Who cares?
Yeah, he might really feel that way.
Yeah.
And then I'm with Free Beer, too, if this guy doesn't come clean, or if this guy is unrepentant and still acts like an idiot.
Can you imagine how many animal groups are keeping a close eye on him to just wait for him to even look at a dog funny or something like that to try to get him again? Because, I mean, regardless of whatever group it is, they all have a motive and a plan, and if they can keep their issue at the front of the mainstream media, and certainly if Michael Vick got in trouble again, that would push it right back into the very center of the public eye.
Yes.
He's got to be careful. The other thing Mortensen was saying, Chris Mortensen from ESPN was saying, was that there's a good chance he's going to end up in the UFL.
What is the
United
UFL?
Football
I've
League.
never heard of that.
They're debuting this fall. I think they said they're playing on Thursday nights, something like that. It's going to start with 4 teams.
Ooh.
4 teams, huh?
4 teams.
Oh, my God, that's going to be great.
The UFL.
All 4 of the coaches are name NFL coaches.
Who? Who are they?
One of them is Dennis Green, and the other 3 are names that I don't remember, but if I did, you'd know all of them.
Okay.
Marty Morningweg.
No.
Monty Clark.
Wayne
Fonts.
They're all former Lions coaches.
Yeah. Daryl Rogers.
And they play in what towns? Bigger towns? Smaller towns?
They're big towns. I think one of them was San Francisco.
Nobody's gonna go.
I don't
Is
remember
it developmental or is it
I believe their desire would be down the road to be a league competitive with the NFL. What I don't understand is they're going to play at the same time as the NFL and the same time as college. How many nights a week are there not college football, or are there not football games on? Monday night is Monday Night Football. Tuesday night, late in the season, there were Mid-American Conference football games on. Wednesday night, there's games. Certainly Thursday night has become a staple for college and sometimes pro. Friday night, college football. Saturday, college football. Right. Sunday, the NFL holds sway over everything. And then Monday night, you're back to college. When are you going to find some snooze league that has 4 teams and one guy you've heard of, Michael Vick, running around past a lot of guys who should be playing in a beer league?
Vic has to play for every team.
There's going to be guys out there in rugby uniforms.
Hell, sweats. You'd be able to see their toes through their shoes.
They have to play in vintage helmets and shoulder pads
from
the Red Grange era.
They would have been better off trying to start a competitive league called Mascot Football, and all of the players had to dress as mascots of other teams.
The ref has to wear a suit and fedora.
The San Francisco Crunch excitedly announced the signing of Otto the Orange today.
This is stupid.
That is stupid.
The UFL.
He's expected to be a lead blocker for Smokey and Daniel Boone.
This is really exciting. My favorite team is playing that other team for the 4th time this year.
They just stay in town,
they
play
do it
there
like
for a month.
They do it like a baseball series.
Yeah. Well, we took 2 out of 3 from Orlando.
This is so dumb. My gosh, this is stupid.
It has legitimate names behind it. But so, you know what?
Former legitimate names.
So did the XFL.
Yeah.
Remember that?
You had heard of those people, too. But at least they had more than 4 teams.
I got to see where they're...
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah, I'm very curious as to where the big, awesome UFL will be playing.
The United Football League, where the future stars come to play.
Quarterbacked by, like, Chuck Fusina.
Apparently, I stand corrected. They do hope to be a developmental league. The Orlando head coach is Jim Haslett.
I think I remember him from the Saints.
Yep. And also St. Louis, I think.
As a team?
There's a registration form on their website.
A registration form?
For players, coaches, and agents.
Ooh. Oh, Joe, let's sign you up.
Yeah.
You can be everything. Your own player, your own coach, your own agent.
Wait, the UFL... It says, looking for a chance to finally root for your own home team? The UFL will have 4 teams playing in 7 cities. That doesn't make sense. Let's see what it says.
So it says 2009 markets. Hartford, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Orlando, New York, San Francisco, and Sacramento.
But they're going to play a game in Mexico City. In Monterey.
So you've got 4 teams, and they'll just kind of play in different towns.
I see.
You know when this was great? 1920, when Ty Cobb would get off at the state fair in Iowa and take 3 pitches from the local hurler who had struck out the entire American Legion squad.
Yep. 2009 football barnstorming. That's awesome.
The economy is perfect for a new football league.
The Arena League had 20 years of experience in a TV contract, and it folded, and it doesn't seem like a sure thing that it's coming back. And yet this 4-team, 7-city, 1 football league.
They got 1 ball. Do you guys have the ball?
Yeah,
they got 1 ball.
You know how minor league teams will have somebody deliver the ball or the puck for the opening of the game?
Yeah.
These teams will actually have to have them deliver the ball. It'll be on par with the Indoor Professional Football League, the IPFL that Hot Wings and I did the announcing for in Knoxville, when after the first game they stopped allowing people to keep the football when it went into the stands because, quote, the team's out of footballs.
They have to fly over the stadium in a biplane and chuck it into the stadium.
It's not going to work. Maybe I'll be wrong.
No, you're not wrong, because the NFL already has a developmental league, and it's called college football.
Yeah, and it's already immensely popular.
Yeah.
I have something else that's not going to work. The timing for Stephen Hawking sings. How did we manage again to get to this point?
We're going to do it at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. A special edition, a late edition of Stephen Hawking Sings.
All right.
And no fussy emails. You're just lucky that it happens to fall at this time. Because I know we're going to get the email. I plan my day around it.
It's only my favorite thing ever.
There are some other people who also might like it who can only listen later. We're not doing it to screw you.
Yeah.
If we do, we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. As much as we'd like to isolate you.
We start the segment. 1-800-947-3979. Dave Jones of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're trying to screw you over, so we're not going to do the bit you like. Instead, here's this.
Well, we had funny talk about mascot football.
That's right.
And the hot rockin' UFL that Michael Vick may play in.
In a moment, we'll tell you about the athlete that is being charged with... well, he's not. That's the thing. I keep wanting to say he's being charged. He has a civil suit filed against him for sexual assault.
God, we're all sports today, man.
We are. It's a sports talk. Wall to wall. Coming up, I'll tell you who's going to win the batting title in 2015 based on the empirical research I've done on the Internet.
Let's do top sports moments of the year so far. That's really hip and hot.
Also, name a poster you've heard of. 1-800-947-3979. These are your sports top topics.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Holy
Joe,
moly.
pull that crazy brain scramble.
Top topics.
Damn it. I'm as good as the UFL.
That was sweet.
What Hot Wings thinks on the way. What's your thing, Hot Wings?
I'll be talking today about how child obesity is child abuse.
All right.
Doesn't that sound funny?
I didn't hear what the topic was.
We'll get to all that coming up. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
These are your sports top topics.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Holy
Joe,
moly.
pull that crazy brain scramble.
Top topics.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
People email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Jeremy writes, that was great. Free Beer was rolling. Then he remembered he can't talk right and is bad at broadcasting.
Oh.
He sounded so defeated.
Oh, no.
I think that's all true. I was hilarious for 1 second.
Oh, God, it was just great.
It was nice.
I love that.
In a moment, we'll get to what Hot Wings thinks. It's about making kids fat and it being child abuse, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Also, just after the top of the hour, we have to share an email with you we got yesterday when we were talking about that soldier who was captured by the Taliban and was being held hostage, that young man from Idaho. We'll share that story coming up.
Yeah, I remember saying to you when we were talking about this last time, yesterday, how did this happen? How the hell is this? How did he get caught?
Yeah.
And when you told me that he was alone, is that right? He was alone with a couple of Afghani type of security?
I've heard a couple different things, and so I don't know exactly which one is true.
Okay.
I feel like I'd be playing the telephone game if I said any of them with any level of assuredness.
If you're the president, what do you do? Because, you're trying to kill these people, these Taliban.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you expect to reason with them?
And that would be negotiating with terrorists,
Or do you just go, that's kind of the way it goes?
Some of the pamphlets they dropped were give them back or else kind of stuff.
They drop
pamphlets in the neighborhoods where they think that he may be staying. That's one of the tactics they use to try to get someone to turn. And so, I don't want them unleashing hell here.
Get some villager that doesn't want their entire place bunker busted.
Yeah. We'll get to that coming up just after the top of the hour, and that's after what Hot Wings thinks, which comes up in a moment. So we mentioned that there's I would say that this person qualifies as a superstar athlete when you're a quarterback 2 times of a Super Bowl champion, and someone files a civil suit against you for sexual assault. It's a pretty big deal. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger
Super Bowl
has been named as a defendant in a lawsuit filed by a woman in Nevada. According to online court records, a defamation lawsuit was filed in Washoe County on Friday. Andrea McNulty is listed as the plaintiff. Details of the suit were not available late Monday night. Roethlisberger was one of 9 defendants listed in the online court docket. So one of 9 defendants. Roethlisberger's lawyer released a statement to several media outlets Monday night saying the 2-time Super Bowl winner was accused of sexual assault in the lawsuit by McNulty.
9? What is it, like, does she accuse... Wait a minute.
I'm not exactly clear because I don't know that sexual assault means full on.
It could be grabbing her ass.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Fill a warehouse with the things I don't know about this. This weekend, this is a quote, this weekend, Andrea McNulty served Ben Roethlisberger with a civil complaint accusing him of sexually assaulting her in July 2008. Ben has never sexually assaulted anyone, especially Andrea McNulty. The timing of the lawsuit and the absence of a criminal complaint and a criminal investigation are the most compelling evidence of the absence of any criminal conduct. If an investigation is commenced, Ben will cooperate fully, and Ben will be fully exonerated. This seems very peculiar that there wouldn't have been even a call to the police officers where charges were never filed.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you're a woman and let's say you're at a concert and there's a crowd of people, it happens to be 9 people, and you're hot and all the other people are drunk, and they start grabbing your ass, I mean, you may or may not. I guess you could call the cops for that. But if you're not really hurt, some may say, well, you know what, I'm just really offended and upset about this, but I'm not going to call the cops about it. And then seeing that it is who it is, may then file suit when she realizes there's some cash involved, but that doesn't mean that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I saw one report that said that this incident took place in a hotel room in Nevada where... And these are internet reports where supposedly Roethlisberger or someone from that group called down and said, yeah, we're having trouble with the cable box, come fix it. And then when she got there, I don't know if she was bringing equipment or what. Again, this is an internet report, so it's,
okay.
You can trust its reliability about as far as you can wad the paper up and throw it.
Right.
But it said that's when some sort of incident took place. If that is the storyline that she's alleging, well, then that would definitely be something that I would think most would call the cops on. Not all. That's the thing. I mean, there are incidents like this where someone, for whatever reason, may be assaulted and may do exactly what you're talking. Go home and say, "Oh, I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have my life torn apart. I just want to move on." I mean, that happens. There certainly are sexual assaults that go unreported.
Man.
Yeah, but you can report those a long time after the fact. Without going straight to civil suit.
That's what makes it seem
it's crap.
Seem peculiar.
It's just crap.
Well, I'm sure Roethlisberger can afford the best lawyer, and who would no doubt find a hole or punch a hole through that story if there were trouble there.
There's a time where I would have said that, gosh, the problem is once you're accused of being someone in a sexual assault, you can't unring that bell. But
Not anymore.
Kobe Bryant did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
and that
anymore.
guy, that case, everyone assumed he was guilty.
Right. Oh,
And
big time.
No one thinks of him that way now.
Mm-mm.
You know, so that bell was pretty unrung.
Yeah, I would say so.
Here's what Hot Wings thinks. Hot Wings. What Hot Wings thinks.
Free beer, Zane and listeners. There's a story in South Carolina involving a mother being charged with criminal child neglect because her 14-year-old son was 555 pounds. Holy blimp, you're damn right that's child abuse. Now, of course, her attorney is arguing that the mother was doing all she could to help her son lose weight, and that by convicting her of child neglect, a precedent would be set that opens a Pandora's box for all parents to be scrutinized for the health of their kids. Oh, no! Yeah, I'm sure she was really doing everything she could to help him lose weight. Sure, he drank 17 2-liters every day, but I always made sure at least a third of them were diet. I only let him eat slabs of low-sodium bacon. Imbeciles, shut up. Parents should be scrutinized for what they feed their pig kids. They'd be scrutinized for letting their kids drink or smoke, and I would argue those are no more dangerous to development than weighing a quarter of a Miata. Plus, this dillweed attorney asks the question, but where do you draw the line? Well, I don't know. Where do you draw the line between spankings and beatings? There's no definitive definition. You just know it when you see it. Like art. How fat is too fat? Don't know. Again, you know it when you see it. I know when I see a picture of this kid, I can honestly say that his mother is the worst mother in America and makes Dina Lowen look like Mrs. Cleaver. I guarantee that kid didn't balloon from 100 pounds to 555 in just a scant 2 years because he was so fast and wily and his mother couldn't control what he ate. She's been feeding him gravy since he was suckling at her teat. That's because you know she's a disgusting self-body mutilator, too. Parents have a responsibility to at least try to build their kids right. If you're not gonna do it, you should have them taken away and given to families who aren't complete wangs. I believe by and large the government should stay the hell out of our homes and let us raise our kids the way we want. Unless you have a manatee-sized butterball-headed Twinkie pounder making your minivan list on the way to not taking him to ride a bike. 14-year-olds should not look like King Kong Bundy. I hope the judge sentences the mother to a stoning. Of course, the little beast would probably eat the rocks.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a lot of work to be a great parent, but it barely takes any to just be moderately adequate. All you have to do is not feed your kid crap. That's it. Way to not try. They ought to force feed this mother like foie gras and then pop her with a knitting needle and then let her kid eat her. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show is next. And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show.
In the business, so thanks to TK and Steve Fiorello, director Steve Fiorello.
What is wrong with you?
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
While you're online, check out the all-new Chevy Equinox with an EPA estimated 32 miles per gallon highway. Up to 600 highway miles on a tank, the most fuel-efficient crossover on the highway. Go to Chevy.com/Equinox. Based on GM compact crossover segment, excludes other GM vehicles. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Later on this hour, we're going to ask you to share scenarios up to a certain point. You'll tell most of the story, and it's our job to guess whether it led to a fist fight, sex, or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a bummer if they were all nothing.
Yeah.
That would be.
Nope, nothing happened.
A bummer. Unless the circumstances leading up to it were so ridiculous that it had to be a fist fight, and then you both. But I don't think many will be nothing.
When we say fist fight, we don't mean fist fight literally.
Right.
Mm-hmm. We're not saying who called up and punched their spouse.
Right.
We're not doing that. What we're saying is just like a disagreement, massive fight.
Mm-hmm.
How did it ultimately go?
And some of them may be like the scenario that starts this off, it almost assuredly wouldn't lead to sex because it's two men in a road rage incident.
But what if it did?
So in that case, it's really more leaning towards fist fight or nothing.
I got you.
But we wanted to include other genders, so it could call up where the two only reasonable possibilities are sex or nothing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's three chances. I mean, there are going to be some stories that could lead to any one of the three.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming up
a
little bit later on. We talked yesterday, we played some audio about from the soldier, from the tape released to the soldier that was captured by the Taliban in Afghanistan. Pretty scary stuff, obviously, and very difficult for the family. I can't imagine what they're going through, hoping for their son to come home safely. Hotwings, could you look up, as we get this started, maybe a story that has exactly, or as close as they can guess, what happened with him getting captured? Because I mentioned that I've heard speculation.
As to how
the stories don't exactly match up that I had heard.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pass them on because I feel like I'd be guessing. But when we were talking about that yesterday, we got an email about it later, and I saw similar notes to this on the Internet on a variety of blogs and stuff that was posted at FARC and comments underneath news stories in newspapers where people can go and write their thoughts about something. And I was kind of surprised by this, and we'll welcome your calls as well at 1-800-947-3979. But after we yesterday talked about this soldier captured by the Taliban, being held hostage, certainly I would say his life in danger, we got this email. I'm quoting here. Don't take this the wrong way. I am a patriot. I did 3 tours in my 4 years as a Marine infantryman, and I'm about to leave to do my 4th tour in the reserves. This idiot that was captured deserves every bit of punishment that he is getting right now. I understand and almost feel for his grieving family, but in all honesty, it's his own fault for leaving his base unarmed in the middle of the Taliban stronghold.
What?
One of my tours was to Afghanistan, and I am very familiar with the area that he was captured in, and you never do anything unarmed, not even go to the bathroom. 2, you never leave the base by yourself. Doing both at the same time is beyond idiotic, as well as him being drunk.
He was drunk?
That's what this email says. That's why I say there's numerous reports that I've heard. Because like I said, the first report I heard said that he had gone on a patrol, and that he and 2 Afghani soldiers had lagged behind and been taken. But that doesn't match up with what this guy said, and it doesn't match up with other things I've read. So.
Hell, if he was drunk, alone, and with no arms, the U.S. government's probably like, we're not even going to look for him. We didn't want him anyway.
Yeah, trying to find the actual details is fairly difficult. All I've got is this guy, Bo Bergdahl, serving with an Alaska-based infantry regiment at a base near the border with Pakistan in an area known to be a Taliban stronghold. Bergdahl said in the video, where he's wearing a gray outfit, that he was lagging behind a patrol when he was captured, which conflicts with earlier military accounts that indicated he left the base with 3 Afghans. So that's all that particular.
So that's the same conflicts I had heard. Yeah.
Said.
That's no more help than me.
No,
that's not saying much.
Well, I'm not going to say that this. Well, we can't even speculate. Then, if this guy claims that this email, he seems to know things that not many people have talked about.
Certainly seems to be taking some liberties with the facts that have been discussed in the mainstream media, unless that's something that's making its way through.
Yeah, and he may have his finger on the pulse a little bit more if he is actually military.
Or he
pays attention a little bit more to the news, but
he could also be falling victim to one of those things where it starts out as, yeah, I bet he was drunk, and then the next person says, he was drunk.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it sort of twists and becomes a version of the telephone game that's passed along, and it becomes traded as truth, even though it is, in fact, probably not the truth. Yeah, Matt in Nashville. Hi, Matt.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not much.
What do you know about this?
So, I'm in the Army. I'm at Fort Campbell, and what we've been told was that the guy was out on a patrol, and being in Afghanistan, they spread out a little more to cover more terrain, and he fell back, and somehow some of the Al-Qaeda guys that were there just grabbed him and pulled him off.
And he was there,
so
and he was
essentially the Army trying to cover up for whoever didn't realize that they were missing a guy, said that he wandered out on his own and was drunk, and that's how he got captured.
So the Army had said that.
Yes.
But they have rescinded that statement. Is that true?
Yes. Now they're saying that is not true and that he actually was out on a patrol and was grabbed while the rest of his platoon wasn't paying attention. I don't know if he was in the back of the patrol or how it happened.
Matt, do you think if that happened to you, God forbid, that your family would appreciate the Army saying that you were drunk and wandering as opposed to what sounds like it's the truth? That would be, man, I would think most families would be very offended by that. That's hurtful.
Yeah,
it's bad enough that the kid's in trouble.
Time and again. I mean, even back to the Pat Tillman thing where it was friendly fire and the truth hadn't come out for quite a while. And
yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, the Army's very good at making sure they don't look any worse than they have to.
Yeah. I see.
It's a very good point. Very good point. Thank you, Matt.
That Tillman thing, what a disaster.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Yeah, that story was spun completely differently than what the people that were there say happened now. Well, not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to believe. That's part of. Then again, that's part of. I mean, that's been a part of fighting wars and military operations for years, is controlling information, releasing what you want.
Mm-hmm. Well, it just doesn't sound right to me.
But regardless of what happened, even if the guy did wander off and was drunk, well, that would be incredibly stupid, and you would say, well, you kind of caused this yourself. And I don't know about. I had read one blog yesterday that said. I hope that this blog said this, not me saying this, that they suggested they hoped that Al-Qaeda or the Taliban would do what they're threatening to do because it would save time and money for the U.S., which I thought that's a ridiculously hateful thing to say.
Yeah, that's silly.
This coming from people who say ridiculous, hateful things all the time.
All the time, yeah. That's terrible.
It's different when it's, actually rooted in truth. And that seemed like it was.
Yeah, sure. Not even being silly. It's being serious.
In a moment, fist fight, sex, or nothing. You tell us the story and then pause at a key moment, and we have to guess whether it led to a fist fight, sex, or nothing. The starting scenario is really fist fight or nothing.
Okay.
We'll get to that coming up in a moment. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Click on Barnaby Friends and see my facial in progress.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Later on today, the debut of a new and exciting segment called Other Shows' Poorly Written Skits. That's right, there are other shows who still do hilarious skits that they write and then they act out because they're hilarious actors.
Oh.
And we also have hilarious actors.
Yeah.
Producer Joe and Steve, and sometimes the rest of us, maybe an intern. Today it's just Joe and Steve.
So this is a real bit done by a radio show in West Virginia, you indicated.
One they thought good enough that they would share it with the rest of the world.
It's got to be great.
The script.
Okay. They sent the script to a radio idea trading service that we are part of.
Yep. By the way, I lied. I said that Joe or Steve would be playing the part of Michael Jackson. I was wrong. One of them will not be playing Michael Jackson. One of them will be playing the host of this morning radio show.
So who is named
good. As his parents intended.
No, give us his name. I want to know the name of the show.
I will not do that.
Come on.
Nope.
Let's listen to him online and make fun of their breaks.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we would. I'm sure it would be awesome.
That's always my favorite thing. Everybody's going, yeah.
And then I'm sure I'd end up sitting next to him at a panel or something when we go to Nashville next week, and it would be awkward for me.
You can just be quiet and just act like nothing happened. That's all I do.
Still awkward.
Hot Wings?
Yeah, well, I think that's fun.
Hot Wings isn't even going to be there.
So, which is why I'm all the more for this.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. So I want to try this other segment. It's tentatively titled Fist Fight, Sex, or Nothing. You give us a scenario, and then we have to guess whether it led to fist fight, sex, or nothing. Now, depending on the scenario, we may be able to rule out one of them. For example, this is the story that inspired the idea. This came in by email. So I'm at a red light. The guy pulls up next to me, is driving a new Corvette.
Okay.
Sticker still in the window. I drive a 2006 Ford truck. As he pulls up to the red light, he bumps my side mirror.
He managed that.
I don't
How
know.
did he manage that?
Math doesn't even make sense. He doesn't acknowledge anything, so I motion for him to roll down his window. I tell him, hey, dude, you just bumped my car. He says, oh, I didn't notice, and rolls his window back up. I then motion again frantically for him to roll it back down and say, dude, you just hit my car. He said, did I hurt it? Then F off. Then the light turned green and we both drove off. Now I'm pissed. I drive up behind him and take a picture of his license plate. He stops in the middle of the road.
You know the license plate said vroom.
Yeah, probably.
Then lets me go by him and starts to follow me. I pull over, angry, and he gets out and says to me, did you just take my picture? I reply, yeah, for insurance. He then calls me names and says I'm an a-hole for doing that. I said, dude, we are 1 second away from getting into a fist fight. Do you really want to fight about this?
Mm-hmm.
Fist fight or nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing. Guy backed down.
What happened?
He backed down.
Oh, good.
Actually, the guy that was in the truck, the emailer, backed down.
Okay.
That's not
Walked
what
back to his car, calls me an a-hole again, and flips me off. I stay in my car for a second, then a split second later, I get out and go to his driver's side window and say, what did you call me? He repeats the insult, drives away. For a split second, I considered following him, and then I went back to my car and realized I haven't been in a fist fight in 35 years.
Okay.
For a split second, I wanted to get into a fist fight, go after him, run him off the road.
I was just talking to my dad because I visited him over the past weekend. And he, again, we described how when he was riding in the car, this is probably 15 years ago, and a councilman from the city he's living in, it turned out to be a councilman, who I believe now is the mayor of the town, cut off my dad. They ended up getting into a road rage incident. My dad punched him while he was standing outside of the vehicle, and then punched the guy's windshield and busted it. Broke his windshield with a punch. My dad.
Wow.
And then the guy drove to the police station, and my dad, not having enough, followed him there. Cops determined they're both drunk.
Oh, no.
But since it's a councilman, they don't want this mess. They send everybody home.
Wow. That's an idiot of the day story now if it happens.
Yeah.
Because of
It's really amazing.
The way people look at drinking and driving has changed since then.
Steve, you were going to say?
After seeing that video of your dad, I don't believe it. He
Oh,
looks like
dude.
the nicest person in America.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's, I'm guessing he's like 75 now, so he was probably only 60 then.
So we're gonna tell and we'll tell you about the video, by the way, of Zane's dad. It's available for you. But we're gonna take your call, and you share enough of the story, and then pause.
Yeah.
And Hot Wings Zane and I will guess fist fight, sex, or nothing.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
What do you think?
What do we think about?
Yeah, I think it'll go fine.
We'll see.
You seem reluctant. That's why you asked. You're scared.
Jeff in New Hampshire
You're scared
joins
it's
us.
going to suck.
Hi, Jeff.
How's it going?
Great, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good, not so bad.
All right. What is your story? And remember to stop before you give away the answer.
Oh yeah, I'm right on it.
Okay.
So I'm hanging down in a different area of the state, and I'm down there, and I get well, all right. Let me back up. Sorry. My ex-girlfriend. Actually, I'm the kid that called in about the hairy girlfriend that I loved it, the redhead.
Okay,
you're totally killing us.
If you could just tell the story in an order that's coherent. You're not Quentin Tarantino.
Anyway, so back in the day, we broke up, and we've been broken up for months, and, we talked a little bit here and there. And so I'm in a different part of the state, and I get a text message from her saying, hey, will you come pick me up? I have no one to pick me up. Now, meanwhile, I had her new boyfriend's phone number, and we have exchanged text messages back and forth that had gotten pretty horrible.
Oh.
And just recently, because of her asking me to pick her up the following day, he had text messaged me back and forth, and we had a few exchanges of words.
Yeah.
And everything. So I was supposed to show up at a place to pick her up, and I show up there, and no one's there. and I text message her, and she's like, "I'll be there in 20 minutes." So I'm sitting there waiting. Her boyfriend is dropping her off in this parking lot that I'm sitting in. Horrible text messages. What happened?
You had sex with both of them.
Yeah, three-way.
I say nothing. Howings?
I also say nothing.
No, I disagree. I think they absolutely got into a fist fight.
You think the guy and
dude Jeff got into a fist fight.
What happened?
So I'm sitting there. A cop shows up and pulls up. I ask him what's going on, and he said, "You're that kid from New Hampshire," because we were actually in Massachusetts at the time. He's like, "You're that kid from New Hampshire," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm here because your ex-girlfriend's boyfriend is kind of scared, so I had to be here to make sure nothing happened."
Oh.
My ex-girlfriend got in my car, and we've been having sex for the last few days since I picked her up.
What?
So none of us picked that one.
Oh, my gosh. What a great relationship.
Yeah.
What boyfriend drops his girlfriend off with her ex-boyfriend to have him give her a ride somewhere?
Yeah, couldn't he just give her a
they're
ride?
not girlfriend and boyfriend anymore, needless to say.
Yeah, but
Clearly
even
not.
so, I mean,
Not built on a very good foundation.
You are such a redneck.
yeah.
Very Springer-esque. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh.
Well, none of us got that one.
No.
All right. Bill joins us. Hi, Bill.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good. Welcome to Fight, Sex, or Nothing. Tell us your story.
All right, this is a few years ago. It's back when I was in the service. I was just turned 19, and we had pulled into Key West, Florida. And me and a couple guys in the ship went to the bar, and we're talking to this pair of sisters, and it's actually going pretty well. Things were heading up, and we started talking about heading back to their place.
Yeah. Now, how many dudes?
There's about three of us.
3 dudes, 2 chicks.
Well, no, it was only 2 of us that were actually talking to the girls. The other guy, well, he...
And then the sisters.
Okay.
And then sisters.
Yep, they are sisters.
Okay.
And we were talking about heading back to their place, and then, like I said, everything was going good. And about that time, I did feel a hand on my ass. And then I'll stop there.
It led to a fight because it was the odd man out who was also on the ship with you.
Okay.
I say fight.
I say sex. Hardcore.
Bill, what happened?
It actually ended up being a fight. I did not know what the rainbow in the window meant at the time, and it seemed that somebody else was interested. I felt the hand on my butt, turned around, I seen a beard, threw a punch, spent 3 days in the brig for it.
Wow.
Wait a minute. So there was a guy there, and he...
Yeah, it was a bar.
Right. So it wasn't either of those two. They had nothing to do with it.
Well,
Nope, it was neither one of my friends.
Right.
So as another guy came up and said, "Hey, sailor," and put his hand on your butt, and then you knocked his chiclets out.
I can't believe our engineer Sean was at that bar. Oh, God, there you go.
3 days in the brig because he was somehow related to the chief of police, and that was the only way my captain could make it go away.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Bill.
Jeez.
We got one right.
Man.
Not bad. Let's try one more.
All right.
This is, let's see, Robert in New York. Hi, Robert.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning. Robert, fist fight, sex, or nothing?
Well, it all started similar to the past story we just had. I was on military leave, and I actually just fresh turned 21 the week before. And I was home in New York, staying at my parents' house. I decided to throw a very large party for the week I had off.
Okay.
I had a lot of people there, about 45 people in my parents' basement.
All right, good start.
I needed to move cars in the driveway, and people were starting to leave, and my parents have a very long driveway, so I decided to move one of the Subaru WRXs that were in my driveway. And granted, it is Christmas break in New York, very snowy, very icy.
Yeah.
I decide to back the car out of the driveway and turn it around in the neighbor's driveway.
Okay.
I go down the ditch, through the living room, into the foundation of the house.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to leave it there.
So you drove the car through the neighbor's house?
That's correct.
Wow.
Two houses down from my parents' house.
All right.
Okay.
Massive party going on at my parents' house at the time.
Hot wings.
3 o'clock in the morning Eastern.
Fist fight, sex, or nothing?
Yes, fight, sex, or nothing.
I'm going to go with sex.
That's crazy. There's no way. Fight. That's what I say.
Free beer.
I say nothing.
Okay.
Or none of those 3, at least.
What happened?
I ended up getting laid that night.
Shut
Extremely
up.
laid by the woman whose car I crashed into the neighbor's house.
Of course, you couldn't leave.
Yeah.
After
Wait
you
a
got
minute.
rid of those
there was nowhere to
roofies
go.
and trashed her car, there was nowhere to get away from you.
How did that take place? I mean, seriously.
I'm guessing low self-esteem of some sort on
Yeah.
her part.
Well, obviously.
Was a car...
But, I mean, this was a brand new car that she had saved lots of money to pay
Yeah.
for. I mean, it was fairly new. It was maybe a year old.
What'd you do?
Totaled. The car was completely totaled.
Just leave
and I
the
was
car
home on
in
leave. If I got arrested, I wouldn't have came back to the service.
Hey, by the way, Steve just sent a text to us and wrote, did he just say got extremely laid? I think you did
He
say.
did say got extremely laid.
Yeah, not just regular laid, but extremely laid.
Define extremely laid. Did she, was there scat involved?
No, gentlemen, no, there wasn't. But I will tell you that
No details.
didn't faze her at all whatsoever.
Say what?
That you crashed the car?
Yes, it really didn't. At first, it was a big excitement, like, oh my God, my car's totaled. But she had had a few, and similar to myself, I stashed the car in the driveway in between a few cars, and the cops were at my house within like 3 hours when the people didn't wake up when I hit their house.
That's quite a response time within 3 hours.
Yeah,
How do they do that?
Really good.
3 hours, and I was given failure to yield to a traffic device.
I suppose that's fair.
Yeah.
Well done.
I was home on
Yeah,
leave.
dude. Go
He
get-
let me go. He let me off pretty
Go
easy.
get extremely laid this
Thank you,
weekend, Robert.
All right. In a moment, more fist fight, sex, or nothing.
All right.
I believe our guesses have been, maybe 50%.
I'm great at it.
Yeah,
Alex,
you
actually,
sure are.
Alex is the best
You
at it.
are
That's
great
very
at
true.
it.
I'm great.
We'll get to more of that coming up in a moment. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
I think that's pretty perverted.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
So, round 2 of fist fight, sex, or nothing. We'll be in just a second. Chris Brown, remember him? I know you guys do, but he's the one who was dating Rihanna on the night of the Grammys. Beat her up badly.
Mm-hmm.
He's decided that now, after 6 months?
Yeah, it's been
a while.
About that.
Time to apologize. We'll have some audio of that apology. We'll see if the feeling is that it's sincere. Also, 40 minutes away from producer Joe and Steve's, not their acting debut, but it's certainly the broadest stage they've performed on. When we debut other shows' poorly written skits. There are other shows that write skits and send them to shows like us and say, this is hilarious. We use this. It's funny. Ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
And we saved them. I've been saving those scripts for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
With the idea that Joe and Steve would be able to act them out, and we would also be as funny as that show. So that's your responsibility, Joe and Steve, to be as funny as a radio show in West Virginia that sent us this script today.
Okay.
I don't see the problem.
I think it'll be as funny, which is not saying much. I mentioned one of you will be playing the host, the other one will be playing a version of Karnak. Remember Karnak? Probably not. That's because the guy who did that character died about 10 years ago. Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
When he would
Are
wear
you
like
kidding me?
he would wear like the turban and
Right.
Can you put the envelope up against his head? Or
Yes.
something?
Yeah.
That's what this is. It's the host talking to.
It's a very, very current thing to do on your radio show. Who's the creative consultant? Free Beer and Hot Wings Show syndicator Peter Kosan with hot, new, hip, cutting-edge comedy.
Yeah, Carson hasn't even been on the air for, 18 years?
Mm-hmm. The guy that replaced Carson just retired.
Right.
Just for perspective.
Yeah.
This is on a top 40 show, by the way.
Top 40?
Yeah.
And the
So
audience,
it should be cool and hip.
The audience for Top 40 is typically young women, yes?
Yes.
The audience for this show probably doesn't remember that there was someone on before Jay Leno.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
what the hell?
Classic.
How can you possibly let that happen, radio general manager? Let your show be so terrible.
Get to that.
Oh, my God. Coming up, I'm going to do a skit about Spiro Agnew. Get ready.
Cuban Missile Crisis.
That's coming up in other shows' poorly written skits. The debut today. Fist fight, sex or nothing. I think one of the keys to making the segment sizzle a little more is that the stories be shortened. Less detail, more like you're giving an outline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get to the point. That's what he's saying.
That's the pressure on you. Dustin and Flint listening on Banana 101.5. Hi, Dustin. Fist fight, sex or nothing. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. About to get into work.
Okay. What is your story?
I was showing it down like you guys said. One night I'm out at the bar with a couple of my friends, and we're having some drinks. This guy comes walking in, and rather muscular guy, you know, and he's kind of huffing and puffing around and kind of getting in everyone's face. So we ended up leaving because one of my friend's cousin was the bartender, and we didn't want to charge, get her in any trouble, or cause her any grief.
Yeah.
So we left. That's where I'm going to kind of just leave it in the air.
Okay.
Is that too much of an outline?
Well, no, I'm not sure. I would say that it led to sex.
With your
with your cousin.
Howings. By the way, turn your radio down on your tugboat that you're taking to work.
Hot Wings?
Well, since he asked, was that too much, I'm going to say nothing happened.
Okay.
Oh,
Hot Wings is very good at this.
No, this is going to be a fist fight in the parking lot when dude comes back out.
Okay. Dustin, what is it?
You were damn close. Actually, we left. I got like a block down the road and suddenly got really pissed off about the whole situation. So I go back in there and I start staring him down from the outside. And he comes out into the parking lot, and we start fighting. He throws a couple punches, and I throw a couple punches. He shoots at me, kind of like MMA style.
Yeah.
And just take him down, man. Get him right in the guillotine almost immediately.
Yeah.
And start choking the mess out of this big ogre. After he taps out probably 2 or 3 times, because I wasn't letting him get up,
Right, you can't tap out
right in my mouth.
What?
As I'm lying on the ground with his friend in the guillotine, and it just turned into a big brawl, and it was a good old time.
Yeah.
How about that? I like the fact that you said, no way, man, I'm out of here. I'm not going to get involved in this crap.
Yeah,
wait, I'm 1 block away.
Man.
Now
I'm not a big guy by any means.
Now I'm mad. Thank you, Dustin.
Wow.
Yep.
Man.
Describing the sound of what was going on the other end of his phone as a tugboat seems very apt.
Yeah, that seems right, yeah.
That was a good call.
The fact that he said that the guy tried to tap out and then he disregarded it as if that's some type of rule in a normal fist fight. I tapped out.
Okay,
Come on.
okay,
Come on.
I give, Uncle.
I give. You're a champion. 1-800-947-3979. Joe at Nashville. Hi, Joe.
How's it going?
Great. Good. All right. Fist fight, sex, or nothing. Give us the abridged story.
All right. I get home from work, and my wife and my neighbor's girlfriend were at the house drinking. I start having a couple drinks with them. A little bit later, my wife walks outside, catches my neighbor guy staring in my windows, watching to make sure nothing happens with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I hear my wife and him arguing outside, and I walk outside.
You had sex with everyone.
Fist fight, sex, or nothing.
Yeah, it turned into an orgy.
You did. You had a big, massive orgy.
Are you guys both really picking sex in this case?
Yes. I am absolutely picking sex.
Yeah.
I choose nothing. What happened, Joe?
All right. My neighbor draws his fist back to hit my wife.
Hey, your
I
wife?
beat the hell out of him. Cops get called.
You had sex
he
with the
goes
cops.
to jail for public intoxication, and then I screw them both.
I don't believe you.
No.
You're a liar.
You did not go have sex with both of them.
You didn't have the police
That's
count.
not true.
You're a liar.
No.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
And you going, is not going to make it.
Yeah. No, it did. No, seriously. It did. That did their moms, too.
Now I like this bit.
They chopped down a tree and fell on his house. Ha-ha.
I do like this bit. I like fist fight, sex, or nothing.
I do, too.
That's the last one for today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Banged him.
That was very Quagmire of him.
You get it.
He was going to punch my wife.
Yeah.
No, we did it.
Yeah.
Hey, police. I like when he said the police came and Zane bumped in. You had sex with him. You had sex with the police. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
These are your sports top topics.
Ooh, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
Holy
Joe,
moly.
pull that crazy brain scramble.
Top Talkix.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
You can join us toll-free, 1-800-947-3979. On the website, freebeerandhotwings.com, there's a couple different things. One, for VIP members, as we've said, there's going to be more and more stuff that we expand for VIP members over time. You can see the video to Zane's dad that you took this weekend. You took a video of your father this weekend.
Yeah, do you want to hear the audio now?
I do.
This is the audio of my dad. Shot a little phone video.
Okay.
This is how he talks. You know how he uses words. Ah, you lame guy, you big meathead.
Mm-hmm.
You lame, man. Say, ciao, Jack. Ciao, Jack. You're good. Hey, meathead.
Hey, meathead. Hey. I pressed him on an issue, and you would not have believed how uncomfortable I made him.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It went like this.
Oh, boy. I bet it makes me awkward now.
I said I'm at his home.
Yeah.
Dad, so what are you doing August 8th? That's a Saturday. Nothing. Okay, listen, I'm doing another triathlon. I paid good money so I could get injured again, and I want you to see me get hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on August 8th. You show up Friday during the day. We'll go out to eat. You spend the night. You don't have room. I do have room, Dad. I got a 5-bedroom house.
I like how he's throwing up roadblocks because he already committed to not having anything to do, so he's got to find a reason not to visit you. You don't have room. What about the chance of radon?
There's not a good place to park. There's no room, Jack. No, Dad, there's plenty of room. I got it all set up for ooh. So you get there Friday, and then I get up real early Saturday. I don't want to wake up early. No. I will wake up early. I have to get to the event. You get there. It's 3 miles away. You jump in the car with Diana and the kids, your lovely bride. Go. You watch me swim like a maniac. It's crazy. People are ringing cowbells. It's all fun. Hour and a half. It's the race. You watch me get hurt. And then,
yeah, maybe less.
Yeah.
And then you go home. Pause. Later on in the day, I go, so should I hold you to that? Well, I don't know, man. I got to see what's going on. I go, you don't have to see what's going on. I just gave you your plans. Those are your plans.
Because you said you didn't have any before this.
You do now. You have this plan. You can't wait till something better comes along and say, hey, I got something going on, Jack. So, okay. And, man, his skin, he was crawling out of his skin. He could not handle that. He did not like that at all.
So he's going to be there.
I doubt it. See, now he has to actually call me up and say, hey, Eric, we're not going to make that your pentathlon. There's no way I will be able to be there. Why? This simply, well, you didn't say anything. You said about 4 different times. Well, Jack, That's it. He will do that to me. I can promise you that.
Mm-hmm.
He will not be there. I don't know what he's afraid of. I know he can drive because he travels 3 hours once a month to his little cottage he has up north.
Mm-hmm.
It takes him a little longer, but like I said, he's got all day Friday to get there. There's no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'd be nice if he would go.
Hey, meathead.
VIP members, you can see
what I'm going to look like in 40 years.
That video. Steve, where would they find that video?
It's on the videos page under show videos.
Okay.
So if they don't give us their money, they can't see that.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
They'll be able to see the little thumbnail, but it won't let them watch it.
Yeah. Well, that's why they should be a VIP member.
It's also a sexy dance video, too.
Yeah, of Steve showing his sexy dance from his 5 most embarrassing moments.
That's a pretty great still that you put up there.
Boy, membership has its privileges.
That's right. We'll take the $3 a month.
That's right. It's pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to pay it, you don't have to be mad at us.
Right.
You just not pay it.
Yeah,
that's okay, too.
Don't watch it.
Rihanna, very successful recording artist. Pretty far off my radar, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She got in that incident with Chris Brown, her boyfriend,
the
night of the Grammys.
It was definitely off your radar.
pretty far off the radar.
And it was the night before the Grammys.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because then they ended up not attending the Grammys because of what went down. It was a pre-party.
Okay.
Do you want to play the clip now of when you indicated, by your lack of knowledge, and mine too for that matter, how little you knew about Rihanna?
Yes, I do.
Was there any setup required for this? We're good? Okay, here's Free Beer Rihanna, The Umbrella Fail. Of course, that hit song she has.
Got some Chris Brown audio, the guy that, amongst stories, that he hit Rihanna with an umbrella, choked her, and bit her. They say that her injuries were similar to someone who had gone 3 rounds in a mixed martial arts fight.
Get the F out of here.
That's some of the reports I've read.
Are you
well, that
serious?
That would be ironic if he hit her with an umbrella, since that was the title of her huge smash hit.
Oh,
it was called Umbrella.
Well, maybe that was an ironic headline then, and I didn't read the whole story.
I'm glad she doesn't have a song
Let's make that
called...
very clear.
I'm happy she doesn't have a song called Anvil.
Hilarious mallet.
I suspect I was duped by a headline on Fark.com, and now that you say that.
Really?
Absolutely. I think I just passed on a headline that was false.
Yep, I think you just had fake
because
news.
Once you said she had a song named Umbrella, inside it went.
Here's Rihanna and her new song Boulder.
What if she had done a remake of Pearl Necklace?
Or Shark Baby or anything.
Man, that was great. You had no way of knowing, though. How would you?
Well, maybe actually reading one of the articles instead of just skimming a headline. I mean, I appreciate you giving me some benefit of the doubt, but it probably would have been a good idea to not jump to the conclusion since the headline said. Now, I actually do remember seeing a headline that said Chris Brown beats her with an umbrella, but anyone who was up on pop culture would have went, oh, I get it.
I have a new favorite part of that audio clip that I never really thought about before, and it's when Hot Wings goes, what if she had a song named Hilarious a Mallet? That tickled me.
Well, Chris Brown took a lot of heat at the time because he didn't show a lot of remorse. But apparently, however much time has gone by, it's been a number of months, apparently now is the right time for him to show remorse. Chris Brown released this statement.
Hi, I'm Chris Brown. Since February, my attorney has advised me not to speak out, even though ever since the incident, I wanted to publicly express my deepest regret and accept full responsibility. Mm-hmm. Although I would do some interviews and answer some questions in the future, I felt it was time that you heard directly from me that I am sorry. I have tried to live my life in a way which can make those around me proud of me, and until recently, I think I was doing a pretty good job. I wish I had the chance to live those few moments again, but unfortunately I can't. I cannot go into what happened, and most importantly, I'm not going to sit here and make any excuses. I take great pride in me being able to exercise self-control, and what I did was inexcusable. I am very sad and very ashamed of what I've done. My mother and my spiritual teachers have taught me way better than that. I have told Rihanna countless times, and I'm telling you today, that I'm truly, truly sorry, and that I wasn't able to handle the situation both differently and better. I recognize that I've truly been blessed. I've been blessed with a wonderful family, wonderful friends and fans.
There's more.
Now, before we get to that second part, the details of what he did to her were incredibly violent. I know that I was wrong the first time with the umbrella.
What were they?
He choked her to unconsciousnness and
bit her.
Oh no!
It was really violent.
Bit her. Choked her.
Mm-hmm. He didn't just
have. It wasn't just a shove. It wasn't a fleeting 1 second jab to the cheek or something like that.
Right.
No, he beat her.
It went on for an extended amount of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Remember we had the clips of the time of him right afterwards. We were playing the clips from, I think it was Tyra or some talk show where he was on. There might have been Oprah, where he was talking about how one of his mother's boyfriends was physically threatening, and he would wet the bed out of fear, and that he would never understand a man laying hands on a woman.
What's
like that.
The legal ramifications of this? Where does this stand at this point? Does anybody know on Chris Brown?
Well, I could guess based on some headlines I read.
The
I
assault,
think Judge Wapner's handling it in people's court.
Normal assault charge in that county, and but I don't know where. I don't remember.
I don't know where it is either.
Let's see. He copped a plea in his assault case. Won't do jail time, but will spend 6 months doing things like road cleanup. He's also been ordered to stay 50 yards away from Rihanna. He'll spend 180 days doing community labor, 8 hours a day. 1,440 hours total, which is in effect hard labor.
I wonder if this sentence adds up with everyday Joe on the street who, first-time offender, hurts somebody like that, this type of assault. I imagine it's probably on par.
Probably. He gets 5 years probation for felony assault.
So that if he screws that up in 5 years, he'll go right to jail. When you're on probation like that?
It says if Brown violates probation, he could get up to 4 years in prison. Doesn't mean he will, but could.
Okay. So. All right. Chris Brown says what happened with Rihanna will never happen again.
God has been generous in giving me the ability which has brought me fame and fortune. I've done a lot of soul searching, and over the past several months, I've talked with my minister and my mother, and I spent a lot of time trying to understand what happened and why.
I wish he wasn't reading.
I know. It sounds so sincere.
Being frank.
Mm-hmm.
I've let a lot of people down, and I realize that, and no one is more disappointed in me than I am.
That's not true.
No,
as many of you know, I grew up in a home where there was domestic violence, and I saw firsthand what uncontrolled rage could do. I have sought and I'm continuing to seek help to ensure that what occurred in February can never happen again. And as I sit here today, I can tell you that I will do everything in my power to make sure that it never happens again, and I promise that. What I did was unacceptable, 100%. I can only ask and pray that you forgive me, please.
There it is.
I hope that others learn from my mistake. I intend to live my life so that I'm truly worthy of the term role model. Thank you.
I think it's important to ask yourself whether or not this is the birth of a new time for him.
Yeah.
God, it stands out.
What I did was unacceptable, 100%. I can only ask and pray that you forgive me, please.
Why do you do that? Why do you do that?
I think both of them want to move on.
You did so perfect reading, and you said there's clearly an S in between the A and the K. There's not an X there.
Mm-hmm.
I can only ask and pray that you forgive me, please.
No, I won't because you did that.
Well, I think his apology has a lot of teeth, though.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you think if he was going to chop down a tree, he would ask his friend to bring over an ask?
Well, probably.
Does it go the other way?
Yeah, I think so.
Does anybody know the phonetic history of why this takes place in our spoken language? I mean, it's not just black Americans. I've heard many people talk like this.
Ray Romano says axe.
Yeah, he does.
People who do that make me pissed. I get mad.
I don't know. I don't know why that happened in the dialect, but there it is. But
what do you think? Is he sincere? Is this a real apology, or is this I need to sell albums and my image has been tarnished by my own actions?
I think that. I don't.
Could it be both?
I think it's both. I'm sure he's sorry, but he's just as much sorry that everyone found out about it as he is that he did it. And he's reading. It couldn't be more scripted.
Yeah.
It sounds awful, I think.
Now, isn't it often said that someone who does this once is likely to do it again? Isn't that sort of the tack that
I don't know.
That a lot of men always say is, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again.
Yeah,
unless they get some help
or are caught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
I think he might be able to turn this around.
He might. He's young enough, and he gets the right help. If it was yours to control his rage, maybe.
If it was your daughter, your sister, or someone you loved, you would certainly encourage her to never go back.
Oh, of course.
That kind of thing.
And if I had a sister or daughter or whatever that wanted to date him, man, I would sit that kid down. I'd say, you lay one hand, I swear to God, I will kill you.
Yeah, you
will be a dead
rage.
man. You will be a dead man.
You don't want to go there, man.
Hell no.
Jeez.
Is that why you're working out, so you can kill someone later?
Just in case I need to.
In case you need to.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
Joe, Steve, how excited are you for this segment that will probably fall flatly on its face called Other People's Poorly Written Skits next?
I am very excited.
This is something that we've talked about for a while. I would see these other skits that other radio shows would write, and they would take time to meticulously write out the script within their email. And I would always look at it and go, how would they possibly expect someone else to use that? And so we said, maybe that's how we do it. Joe and Steve will put on their best acting ability and take part in it's a very short script. I mean, it's a page long.
But these guys do this on their show.
At least once a week.
What do they call the bit?
I don't know.
On their show.
Let's see.
Do they have a website we could maybe pull some of their audio.
Boy, that'd be
like
something,
them doing
wouldn't
the
it?
Same thing.
Boy, yeah, I wish they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Nice try, Joe.
Yeah.
Boy, I would be a
was
real
good.
fool to fall for that one, wouldn't I?
They call it something good like Theater of Ha Ha.
They do not name it here.
You know, it's something stupid.
I believe that's possible. We'll need to decide. Well, no, I'll tell
We're
you.
going to Chuckletown.
One of you will be playing the host. We'll call him Mike.
Okay.
One of you will be playing that host's version of Karnak.
Again, I can't believe this show in West Virginia pulls Karnak out, almost a historical TV character, on a show that's geared towards young women who don't know who that is.
It'd be like if we said, coming up in a moment, Hot Wings talks to Gomer Pyle. It's ludicrous.
Welcome back, Cotter Trivia.
Steve goes out on the street and talks to Radar O'Reilly about helicopters. What the hell?
I have never seen a full Karnak bit.
No,
I mean,
I'm
God,
watching one right now on YouTube.
It's been years.
That's next. Other shows, poorly written skits is next. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
I don't need to know how you are doing anal intercourse.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Barbara Walters talking about Bruno, the movie, Sacha Baron Cohen's latest. With that, we'll be looking for who has taken the youngest child to see Bruno later on. I don't know if we'll get any calls. I'm not sure anyone's going to want to volunteer for that.
Well, maybe they won't call, but you know that's happened.
Maybe you can rat somebody out, like, hey, my sister-in-law took her 10-year-old son or whatever. I know a radio guy who took his 12-year-old son. That is for real.
Oh, it's not a good idea.
It doesn't seem like
It'd be awkward and just sitting there watching a movie.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, would it. It was awkward sitting 2 chairs away from Steve at that movie. Joe, you saw it with your girlfriend Kate, right?
No, with Airhorn Brian.
Oh, with Airhorn Brian.
Yeah.
Did you sit right next to him?
A seat apart.
Was there any time when you thought, it's kind of weird, you looked over at Brian and you thought, I'm kind of watching a porno with him?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that same feeling.
Wow.
I thought that very same thought.
I can't believe this film only got an R, the way you describe it.
I don't know how I got it.
Because NC-17 is the next worst thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how it didn't. Based on some of the other movies that they talk about that they say, like, for example, Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah. They had to change the name of that to just Zack and Miri.
Yeah, to sell it at a lot of stores. And that one nearly got an NC-17. And I don't think that was as graphic as Bruno. Do you, Joe?
No, not one bit.
It was also pretty graphic relative to other R-rated films, but not like Bruno.
I don't think of it as graphic, though, and Bruno is graphic.
Oh. Yes. The difference was in Zack and Miri Make a Porno, it was shot in the way a movie that is R-rated would be, where stuff was blocked by a cash register or a chair. Bruno, it was blocked by a tiny black square that they superimposed over the genitals. That is a big, big difference.
Yeah.
Tiny, yeah, about the size of a CD envelope. That kind of thing.
Jeez.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. This is the debut of a segment we talked about way back when we drove to Springfield, was when we first talked about this. And that is, it's pretty special.
Uh-huh.
What is
it? You soon? There we go. Sorry. I was a little bit behind the time there. Now we're ready.
Oh, we don't want that yet.
No, sorry. Thought we needed that for the bit.
We do need that.
Just not now. No.
I got the computer tap.
Which meant, all right, I need sound for this bit. And I was like, oh no.
1-800-947-3979. But this is other people's poorly written skits, and we'll have a big intro for it and everything.
Yeah.
In a moment. But I don't want to play the intro until Joe and Steve are ready. So, Joe and Steve, come get your scripts right now, but only barely look at them.
Don't look at them at all.
Don't look at them at all. Okay. 2 scripts. This is written and submitted by another radio show that you would think would be very successful because they say they are.
Okay.
Okay, well, they always do.
Joe, please look to see if the name of the show is on the script, please.
I already checked.
It is not. It is not.
I don't believe it's there.
Okay. If you guys see it, make sure to reveal it.
If we insult the show, they will stop putting them in, and we won't have this segment anymore.
Only if they find out. That's a big if.
It is.
I
will only say this is from a radio show in West Virginia.
Okay.
How many can there be? It's on a top 40 station. And this features the interactions between the host, Mike. I believe, Joe, you said you were going to play the part of Mike, right?
Yeah, I'll play the part of Mike.
All of your lines are denoted by the letter M next to the dialogue. I'm sure you can follow along with that. Steve, you will be playing the part of Ted Knack. Ted is the name of a...
Are they Mike and Ted in the morning?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Could be.
I'm that dumb. Ted Knack is... Ted Knack is another person who appears occasionally on this show. His name is not Ted Knack, but Ted. He added the Knack because he's going to be playing a character based on the character Carson played in 1985 named Karnak.
Yeah.
You see how this all fits together.
Great tie-in.
It's obvious.
Howings, has any research revealed what West Virginia radio market or station this is? Okay. Top 40. Mike and Ted are the hosts.
Okay.
That's all we have at this point. Joe cracking up because he sees the silliness. The fact that this morning show actually put this bit together, Joe is uncomfortably laughing at it.
Now, as the producer for this segment, of this performance, I want to make sure that our actors are ready. So, Joe, can I hear the voice you will be using as you play the character host named Mike?
Yeah, it's very similar to mine. Joining us in the studio is the legendary mystic.
Don't use a line from the play.
Okay.
Steve, how will you sound when you are performing as the character known as Ted Knack?
I will probably sound very similar to how I sound right now.
Oh, wait a minute.
No,
Did you ever
that
see
is not
Karnak?
acting.
Did you ever see Karnak?
Yeah, and it was Johnny Carson talking. There was no accent or anything.
Okay, maybe.
Well, you're not Johnny Carson or Karnak, so give us some acting.
Okay, do you want a crazy
Yeah,
voice?
I want you to sound like a mystical psychic.
Okay.
That's it.
Perfect.
Now, Joe, I have a separate demand for you.
Okay.
As hard as it is for Steve to come up with the voice, even though he did it in a moment of magic just now.
Yeah.
Joe, I want you to get through this script without laughing and ruining it.
Really?
Yes. The script is gold, and I do not want it sullied by your lack of composure.
Yeah, because if you can't get through this, then we can't do other great bits by them, like when they do Ted Headroom.
I think, of course, with that being said,
Max Tedroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Any laughing by you, Joe, will make the bit better in my eyes. Any uncontrolled, hysterical, you cracking up.
I don't even know what I did.
No, Joe, don't laugh. No laughing, Joe.
How will he not laugh? It's such an obviously well-scripted script.
It's true.
Okay, all right.
Joe, are you ready?
Yeah.
Steve, are you ready?
I only answered a Ted Knack.
Ted Knack, are you ready?
Yes.
Mike, are you ready? Joe, you're Mike.
Yeah.
You totally threw him off there.
You did.
The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show presents other people's poorly written skits.
I now present to you this awesome performance of Mike and Ted Knack in the studio. Cue music.
Joining us in the studio is the legendary mystic and seer who comes from the Far East to display his extraordinary mental prowess. It's the Ted Knack, the Magnificent.
Hey, greetings.
Oh, great one. I have in my hand 3 envelopes, which have been hermetically sealed in a Jack Daniels bottle in the alley behind the radio station.
I must smell them. Sniff. Yeah, baby.
I don't think you're supposed to say sniff. I think it's a direction for you to go.
Well, maybe Ted Knack does that, though.
Yeah, baby.
That's what he.
Yeah,
that's
baby.
what he does.
Yeah, baby.
Anyways, Wise and Mighty Ted Knack, you will now demonstrate your psychic ability by divining the answers to the questions contained in each envelope merely by holding it up to your forehead. Are you ready?
Ted Knack is ready.
Here's the first one.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Who's too old to be playing with his magic wand?
Hey-oh.
That's incredible. Here's the second envelope, Mystic One.
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin.
Who can see the unemployment office from her front porch?
That's phenomenal. Ted Knack. Here's the final envelope.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson!
Oh, never mind. Everybody's heard the joke about the Legos.
Ted Knack!
Did you hear the one about the 12-year-old wiener?
And scene.
That's it? That's all they do?
That's it.
Right,
This is what you're missing on other radio stations.
What a kick.
That's a big reason to tune in.
Oh, Mo, boy.
Shut up.
That's it.
That happens.
I chose their best written script for the first one. The rest are worse.
Oh, my God.
That may have actually been the most timely of any of the scripts I will provide for you.
I'm going to find out what radio station this is.
I'm going to make
I'm
it
going out of my way now. I am actually pursuing this, and I will reveal who they are.
Yep, this will be my purpose in life.
How do you know I've even given you the right state or the right names?
We don't, but we'll figure it out because somebody's just going to look that stupid.
If you have, it will. We will find that out. We've got crack staff working hard on this one.
That was, as other people promised, though, or as we promised, that was other shows' poorly written skits. That was, in fact, poorly written and from another show.
Yeah, I think we sold that perfectly. That is
Joe, how do you feel about
it
your performance as Mike?
It was pretty much awesome.
And Steve, your performance as Ted Knack, reminiscent of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Yes.
I was going for a combination of that and Zane's dad.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say
there was definitely some Zane's dad there.
Reuben-like.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well done. We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
It sounds like a bunch of metal just big crunch. And it's like an echo and stuff. It's like 4x cars hit.
You can check out the website, variety of things up there, including in the video reel, a link to an awesome home rocket launch.
Oh.
How tall is that thing?
35 feet.
35 feet, and it's a replica of the Saturn V?
The Saturn V rocket that propelled the Apollo.
Okay, that's right.
It is
which Apollo? The moon one?
I think all of them, but Apollo 11 and, specifically Apollo 11. But I think it was the rocket for all of them.
And the story behind it is a guy built it in his own yard at his own expense, right?
Yeah.
And then
what
got
I understand, yeah.
I mean, at 35 feet, you're launching, it's not the same size as the Saturn V, but it's a rocket.
It is.
Longer than most missiles.
Yeah, you talk about like model rockets, and yes, those are rockets too, but this is, if you didn't know any better, you could mistake it for an actual Saturn V based on as long as the perspective was proper.
Right. Like if Zane went around his neighborhood today and said, I'm launching a rocket from my backyard, everyone would assume it's a 3 or 4 foot model rocket.
Right.
If you had gone around and said, I'm launching a rocket from my backyard, and they showed up and you had that, people would think you were a lunatic because it's that big and spectacular. So that video is available at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Very impressive.
So, also today, the five of us will be going out to our friend Tim Motley's. Photographer who helped out with Hot Wings and Joe's photographs.
Cool beans
for the not necessarily gay calendar of last year.
That's what Tim says every other word. He'll snap a shot. Oh, cool beans.
He's actually done pretty much every photo that we've ever had for the show.
Yes.
Yeah. Be it for the website or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're going out there because the 2010 calendar, something we've done 2 of the last 3 years to raise money for charity, in the last case, AT, and the AT Children's Fund. We need to start thinking about that, and we had the idea back in January or February, and now's the time to start moving on, and that is we're going to go out and get a bunch of photographs done, sort of random poses and everything else.
Yeah.
And then we're going to make them available at freebeerandhotwings.com, and because we get so many photographs that are photoshopped, we're going to have a Photoshop contest for the calendar.
Right. We'll eventually take what we deem as the 12 funniest Photoshops of us doing things and put them into a calendar. That's what we will do this year.
And so, and if you get one of your Photoshops in, your prize, free calendar.
That's right. You will get a free calendar. We'll even sign it if you want us to.
And we'll say your name on the radio.
That's right.
That is your prize
right there.
I think we should post the ones that aren't chosen at freebeerandhotwings.com. Now, bear in mind, when we post these photos and you start downloading them and photoshopping them, it has to be something that can be in a calendar. Because even though we had the not necessarily gay calendar, and that made some people uncomfortable, it was still clean.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be something you could put into a calendar and sell it for charity.
Who was the one Bible thumper that would not print up the Joe calendar?
From a couple years ago. That was the printer said they would not print Joe's tastefully nude photo shoot, and it was cartoonishly silly.
It was a gag.
Yeah, he said it was hardcore pornography.
I shall not participate in your pornography.
We ended up
in your malfeasance.
Getting the calendar out late as a result of him getting the project, agreeing to terms, and then bailing.
We should have sued him.
Instead, let's just say his name on the radio. Freeber, you're good at that. Do it. Let him have it.
I haven't done that in a week. I don't know his name.
I don't remember either.
I'm not sure I ever knew his name, to tell you the truth. Boy, was that a bummer.
Yeah, it
really?
was.
You judgy.
Yeah, what do you care?
Say it.
Do it. Unleash it. Get mad.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Temper tantrum.
But so we'll be doing that, and those photos will be up at freebeerandhotwings.com later, and I'm hoping listeners will take advantage of that opportunity to do the Photoshop and try to get your own handiwork into the year-end calendar that we'll put out. Hopefully it'll be released on our website sometime in October. So
okay, good.
Yeah. Good chance for you to be creative. Have fun.
Coming up in the next segment, just after the top of the hour, there's a lot of things that we're going to get to in the next hour, and that is your poor sport moment. We got an email that was sort of based on our embarrassing things that we talked about on Friday, where someone shared something embarrassing that they were the cause of when they were out with a group of friends, and it was because she ended up acting like an incredibly poor sport. And so we're going to ask for your adult poor sport moments where you've raged out and done something incredibly stupid and it sucks the air out of the room or the fun that everyone's happening, be it a pickup basketball game or whatever it might be.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also, youngest kids to Bruno. We had an email already that I think will take the cake.
Oh, good.
Excellent. Is younger than the age 12, which was kind of our starting point.
All right.
So that's all on the way. 1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. Yes, you can. Hot Wings, you ready?
Here's what Hot Wings thinks. Hot Wings. What Hot Wings thinks.
Free Beer Zane and listeners, there's a story in South Carolina involving a mother being charged with criminal child neglect because her 14-year-old son was 555 pounds. Holy blimp, you're damn right that's child abuse. Now, of course, her attorney is arguing that the mother was doing all she could to help her son lose weight, and that by convicting her of child neglect, a precedent would be set that opens a Pandora's box for all parents to be scrutinized for the health of their kids. Oh, no! Yeah, I'm sure she was really doing everything she could to help him lose weight. Sure, he drank 17 2-liters every day, but I always made sure at least a third of them were diet. I only let him eat slabs of low-sodium bacon. Imbeciles, shut up. Parents should be scrutinized for what they feed their pig kids. They'd be scrutinized for letting their kids drink or smoke, and I would argue those are no more dangerous to development than weighing a quarter of a Miata. Plus, this dillweed attorney asks the question, but where do you draw the line? Well, I don't know. Where do you draw the line between spankings and beatings? There's no definitive definition. You just know it when you see it. Like art. How fat is too fat? Don't know. Again, you know it when you see it. I know when I see a picture of this kid, I can honestly say that his mother is the worst mother in America and makes Dina Lowen look like Mrs. Cleaver. I guarantee that kid didn't balloon from 100 pounds to 555 in just a scant 2 years because he was so fast and wily and his mother couldn't control what he ate. She's been feeding him gravy since he was suckling at her teat. That's because you know she's a disgusting self-body mutilator, too. Parents have a responsibility to at least try to build their kids right. If you're not gonna do it, you should have them taken away and given to families who aren't complete wangs. I believe by and large the government should stay the hell out of our homes and let us raise our kids the way we want. Unless you have a manatee-sized butterball-headed Twinkie pounder making your minivan list on the way to not taking him to ride a bike. 14-year-olds should not look like King Kong Bundy. I hope the judge sentences the mother to a stoning. Of course, the little beast would probably eat the rocks. Oh, yeah. It takes a lot of work to be a great parent, but it barely takes any to just be moderately adequate. All you have to do is not feed your kid crap. That's it. Way to not try. They ought to force feed this mother like foie gras and then pop her with a knitting needle and then let her kid eat her. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the Free Beer and Hot Wings show is next. And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show.
You lame, man! Hey, beat it.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
At freebeerandhotwings.com, you can now see the video of that rocket launch that we talked about. And you can also see a link to another video we're about to have Hot Wings, Zane, and Joe see for the first time. We talked about, yesterday we talked about Erin Andrews and how she's such an internet phenomenon. And obviously the video of her, how creepy is that someone recorded her while she's in her hotel room? That's really creepy. And boy, is she smoking hot. But that doesn't make it okay. But we talked about the time that Ray Malaluga sort of hip thrust behind her while she was getting ready to do a report at the exit of one of the USC games. And it reminded me of a video that we had seen last weekend that of a fighter named Quentin Rampage Jackson. And he was being interviewed by a ring girl who was playing the part of a reporter. This is actually, I think, considerably more awkward than the
I don't have the link yet for that,
Ray
but
Malaluga.
if it's on the video reel, I'll be able to pull it up. But just word to the warning, my computer, I don't know about yours, Hot Wings, mine suddenly just went into extra slow mode.
Cardiac arrest for the computer.
Yeah, well, you know, other people are showing up to work, need to use online, so it slows everything down.
Yeah, that sounds very 1992-ish of this computer setup.
In a moment, we'll be asking you to share your biggest poor sport moment as an adult, because it's one thing when a kid does it.
Yeah.
It's another thing when an adult does it. If you know that you were the problem, you were the incredibly poor sport, then we'll ask you to share that.
We're going to do Stephen Hawking late today, aren't we?
We are. That's going to be in about 15 minutes. Stephen Hawking Sings. Normally a segment that happens at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. Today it'll happen in about 15 minutes. If you're the winner on that, you have a chance to win a refurbished laptop from thirdorb.com. That's a good deal. People listening now probably had no idea that even happened, because there's a good chance that if you're listening now, you don't get to listen 3 hours earlier during the day.
Okay.
So in a moment, though, we'll get to the poor sports stuff. And also youngest child taken with you to see the film Bruno. But in this video,
we're all set.
Quentin Rampage Jackson talking about one of his fights coming up. One of the ring girls interviewing him. This obviously intended, no doubt, for the Internet. And it, in fact, has become somewhat viral because of Quentin Rampage Jackson's actions. Joe, you'll be seeing this for the first time. Hot Wings and Zane, you'll be seeing this for the first time. See if you can determine the moment when this gets awkward.
Okay, now it's set. Looks like an empty arena setting, like a pre-fight, if you will. Rampage in a T-shirt. His reporter is very young and attractive. They're in front of the octagon. Okay.
Well, is there any potential for you to get into acting?
Yo, I'm actually, you know what I'm saying, teaming up with John Singleton right now.
Really?
As we speak.
Very cool. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, I was already supposed to be in a couple of movies, but, you know, the Ultimate Fighter keep me busy at UFC. Every time a big movie come up, I got to do something for the UFC. The story of my life.
Absolutely. Well, you're very good at it. So
I try my best.
Well, I have an idea for a romantic comedy starring you and me.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's about a wrestler who falls in love with a ring girl. What do you think? You in?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Am I in?
You're in. Let's do it right now. Cut. Okay, there's only one more.
Oh, my God.
Now, if you could get into the octagon with any celebrity, who would it be?
Lucy Liu.
Lucy Liu. All right. There we have it. All right. Well, that's all we have with Rampage Jackson for the day. Thank you, Rampage.
You're welcome.
Awesome. You have to give me all this footage. You do that, right?
The director had to push him away. Now, you couldn't see what we were seeing, but that segment is that clip is 1 minute and 10 seconds long. When she brings up the romantic comedy, there's probably 35 seconds left in the thing. He grabs her around the waist,
Complete
pulls
setup,
her
by the way.
as tight as possible, looks at her in the eye,
and
then begins to fake hump.
Yeah, he's dry humping, hip thrusting her.
Yeah. The thing is, though, I don't think it's inappropriate because I think she was into it.
I don't know. Looked a little awkward.
Well, it was definitely a setup.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Well, then she goes, "Are you in?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm in."
Yeah.
With a ring girl. What do you think? You in?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Am I in?
You're in. Let's do it right now. Cut.
Oh, she's got loose morals.
I don't
Okay,
think it
there's
was
only
all
one
set
more.
up. I think some of it's
Now,
set up.
if you could get into the octagon with any celebrity, who would it be?
Look at her at this point.
Yeah.
She's clearly...
I mean, he's still grabbing her hips, and this whole time
Lucy Liu.
Lucy
he's
Liu.
pumping his
All right, there we
pelvis
have it.
at her.
All right, well, that's all we have with
She seems
Rampage
very
Jackson for the
comfortable.
day. Thank you, Rampage.
You're welcome.
She's done that with him before.
I don't think
You have to give me all this footage. You do that,
I don't think she seems that off-put by it.
No.
She doesn't seem too disturbed.
The fact that the reporter puts his hand on Rampage's shoulder and sort of breaks them up to me indicates that, all right, stop doing it.
Right. Well, yeah, clearly he thinks that this should end, but...
Yeah, at that point. But as soon as they stopped, the director or whoever laughed and said, "Oh, that's awesome. That's hilarious," or whatever. So...
Oh, man. I think she's had sex a time or two.
I suspect.
I'm sure that's the first time that they've ever been that close where they were wearing clothing.
Steve, could you and Marissa reenact that right now?
Oh, my God. Don't
Marissa's-
tell her
yeah,
that.
good God, man.
Should right up.
She'll pole vault his face. Don't tell her that.
Just make that up. That's awesome.
I'm glad I can't see her face right now.
Yeah, she's very disappointed, actually, that this is not happening.
Oh, I know. Jeez, come on. Somebody needs a boy.
Can you imagine if, for a bet, all 5 of us were somehow entered and the 2 that lost, however that would work out, would have to reenact that video on the street?
Oh, my God. Oh.
Very awkward.
God.
So your poor sport moment.
Chewy. I'm only going by the way she grabbed your butt the other day, Joe.
You grabbed his butt, Jewy?
Remember that we were doing that butt exam and she was started caressing his buttocks?
Yeah, that's right. Now, what about your blog? Was that all true?
Yeah, I think he was joking, though.
Who?
Yesterday, if you look at Marissa's blog at freebeerandhotwings.com, it talks about, Marissa talked, because the interns are writing blogs now, in addition to all of us, and Marissa wrote about how she's had numerous awkward conversations with Joe, and she cites specific reasons as to why, and Marissa said that she and Joe would agree that it's Marissa's fault.
Yes.
Because Marissa tends to speak in broken parts of sentences that would have been great if they were included in the rest of the conversation that was in her head.
Right.
And you cite several examples. But the one the last example you cited in yesterday's blog, Marissa, which can be seen at freebeerandhotwings.com, was, in fact, not partial sentences, but Joe said, I'm guessing because I don't have it right in front of me, but Joe, you needed to come into the studio to give me something, I believe.
Yeah, no, well, I was going to come in there and tell you guys about some bit we were doing or something or other.
Right.
And I said, what did I say?
According to the blog, Marissa said, why can't you go do it right now? And you said, because you have a NARB.
Yeah.
Which is an acronym for no apparent reason boner.
Yeah, I said, oh, yeah, I can't stand up because I have a NARB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It says lots of giggles and awkwardness. Marissa says,
all from me.
Okay.
He didn't giggle.
Uh-huh. And then you wrote, Marissa, that I make every attempt I can to not stare at his junk and choose to stare at the computer screen in front of him after he told you he had a NARB.
Yeah, she
Joe.
tried checking out my package.
I did.
Joe writes, what? What are you looking at? Joe awkwardly adjusts his pants.
Is this all true, Joe?
Well, I didn't really have a NARB.
But it was an ARB?
I didn't see one.
Yeah, you knew why?
Well, I had gotten done doing my log for the day, and I was looking at porno. So.
Mm-hmm. No, it was right after the butt thing, actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it was me rubbing.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
See, this is how it's all awkward.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is.
I don't like this.
See?
Well,
yeah.
So there was no truth to any of it.
Well, no, that whole thing happened.
Yeah.
He was just kidding about
Yeah, there
it.
was no bone.
Right.
You were kidding when you said you had it.
I think it was like an attempt at a joke. Like mine that are never
Okay.
got
Yeah.
in.
Well, this is every bit as awkward now as it was when you guys...
Always is. There's a real tension between you two.
Yeah, why don't you just do it and get it over
No
with?
doubt, man.
Steve, never mind you being Rampage Jackson. Joe, you be the interviewer, and Marissa, you be Rampage Jackson. Joe, time to get pegged.
Marissa,
there it is.
Oh, my God.
Did I get dumped?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know that we had to dump that.
No, it was completely innocent. It was at a party.
Oh, you're awesome.
that was
You're
funny.
awesome. You are the best ever.
Oh.
You serious?
She said she wore something.
Yeah.
But it was innocent. It was
Well,
all with ladies.
Of course it was.
She
It was-
wore
oh, did you
something
say
that
it was-
had
it was all the
straps.
ladies.
It had straps. That's what she
It
indicated.
had one of them on
Yeah.
there.
This reminds me of another time that it got all weird and awkward when I went, I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom. And she went, oh.
No, I didn't. No, you were like, I have to go to the bathroom. I went, okay. And you're like, you want to come with me?
You said that?
That is not how that
yeah.
happened at all.
Oh, see
You
how this
invited
goes.
Marissa to the bathroom.
Yeah, why?
Yeah. Marissa, how many
What
times
are you
have you looked
into?
up to see Joe smelling his fingers in the booth?
That is
porn
not
Jenny.
cool.
She's over. Well,
I would like to say in a moment of pure seriousness, that is not cool, and I did not.
You
that
did
is
not do
how
that.
that happened.
okay. That did not happen. You're fixing it, is what you're doing.
So you did not invite her to the bathroom?
No, she didn't make that noise. What I said was a lie. We went to the bathroom.
So you did, okay.
Yeah,
trying
one is
to-
for all.
I was trying to help you out.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't even know which part you'd be kidding about now and which part would be real.
I don't know either.
There's been so many things said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you have it. We're not going to have time to get to the poor sport moment, I don't think. Maybe we will later this hour.
I had too much fun with Rampage Jackson and Marissa's crazy reveals on the air, man.
That was something right there. That was
Those
something.
noises.
Yeah,
it
you
sounds
make
like,
a lot of funny sex
her
noises.
Yeah,
sounds
I
like
hear that
she's
a
getting
lot.
a good pounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She makes crazy sex noises.
The fact that you revealed what you had on
Uh-huh.
one time
Right.
and then said, it's no big deal. It was all women.
Oh. Well, I
Right.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
It was my birthday party.
I bet it was.
Yeah, of
My
course.
21st.
What
Yeah.
did you didn't get anything for your birthday. You gave
Yeah.
Right.
in that case.
Wow, that's a good birthday party.
It is.
You got any videotape of that birthday party?
We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Oh, nigga got a broken leg. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, what a horrible injury. That is not something you want to see on the field of play.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Don't forget you're invited to the Chevy Open House. You can get into a new Chevy with low, straightforward pricing on remaining 08 and 09 models. It's simple. The price on the tag is the price you pay. Go to Chevy.com/open house for details. Excludes Corvette ZR1 and participating dealers only. Last segment we talked about the video of Quentin Rampage Jackson. Marissa shared a revelation with us that we did not know. Marissa, congratulations. You've given Ryan, who emails, an ARB. He says he's struggling to hide it at work.
Oh,
good.
Congrats.
Yeah, everybody's a big fan of you. You should open up your own porn site and solicit it on the radio.
We'll link it up for you.
Okay, great.
Make
See?
that happen.
Good.
1-800-947-3979. This is a segment that we normally do at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. Most Tuesday mornings, not every Tuesday morning. And, in fact, we do a game at that time, 4 days of the week? 3 days of the week? Something like that. And each day there's a chance for people to win stuff. And today we just didn't have time, so we decided to bump it to a different hour right now and give people that listen at a different time of the day a chance. By the way, as we're mentioning games and chances to win stuff, 2 notes. One, on Thursday, Dumber Than Zane Trivia presented by Cat Footwear. That's worth $1,200. That's at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. On Friday, a special return engagement of Name That Tune, but with a twist. The songs will be played by a man we'll be interviewing over the phone. And you may have seen this guy. He's had a lot of viral videos on the Internet. He plays them entirely with his hands.
Oh, making that fart sound?
Yep. What is his name, Joe? Jerry something?
Jerry something.
It might not be Jerry.
No, it definitely is Jerry.
Is this the guy that Mike knows?
Yeah.
Novak?
He claims he knows.
Yeah, he doesn't know anybody.
He also said he knows Brian Williams and Chris Hansen. And,
Chris Hansen gave him his glasses,
right.
remember?
That's what he said, yeah.
So that'll be on Friday. But today, as we play this particular game called Stephen Hawking Sings, if you win this, you get qualified to win the refurbished laptop from thirdorb.com. By the way, one other note as we're mentioning things coming up later in the week. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, we're going to debut a Joe stunt that he recorded last week.
Oh.
It is funny.
It is.
Is the video good to go?
It will be.
Getting there.
Tomorrow. Right, Steve?
Bishop's working on it.
Working on it.
And it should be good for tomorrow.
I like our chances.
Yeah.
Joe says the video is even more ridiculous with the audio. None of us have seen the video yet, but the audio was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's Joe's return to Will It Lick Him.
Yeah, farm animals.
Okay.
There was a fair in town. We had to get out there and tape it. So Joe has to entice farm animals with whatever he can to get them to lick his body.
Mm-hmm. You didn't like that, did you, Joe?
No, it was very messy.
Anytime Joe can be intertwined with animals, it's good for the rest of us, bad for Joe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Hawking sings. This is very simple. Stephen Hawking sings the lyrics of famous songs. You identify the 5 song titles correctly, and you win.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple.
Yeah. And at the end, Stephen sings it with the artist.
That's right.
Yes. He's got a lot of pull in the music industry.
That's right. You just need to get the title of the song, artist.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about naming the artist. If you know it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, here you go. Song 1.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain. Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail?
That's song 1. Okay. Song 2.
Now Muscle Shoals has got the Swampers, and they've been known to pick a song or two. Lord, they get me off so much. They pick me up when I am feeling blue. Now how about you?
Song 2. Here's song 3.
Out on my way, out on my day, out of your mind and into mine. Into no one, into not one, into your step but out of time.
And here's song 4.
Sit around and watch the tube, but nothing's on. Change the channels for an hour or two. Twiddle my thumbs just for a bit. I am sick of all the same old in a house with unlocked doors and I'm lazy.
Terrible at this game.
And song 5.
Teardrops on the city, bad scooter searching for his groove. Seem like the whole world walking pity, and you can't find the room to move.
There you go. That's your 5.
Amazingly, you played these for us yesterday in the office, yet I can probably only get 2 of them, even though I heard them mixed with the song. That's how bad I am at this.
Okay.
It's not very good. But there are people listening who can get all 5. 1-800-947-3979. If you can identify all 5, you get qualified to win the refurbished laptop from thirdorb.com. We give away 1 per month.
Right.
Marissa is getting people signed up right now.
Getting them in the queue, if you will.
You know, it's always a bummer on this game when the first person gets through, gives 3 of them,
Yeah.
and then gets the 4th one wrong.
That'll never happen. We'll never have somebody who just gets all 5 right to start. That would be something if they did. You've heard them all. Odds are you have to write them down as you go if you can't remember them.
Yeah, it helps.
As Marissa gets somebody ready, let's run through them one more time.
All right.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail?
I'm going to write that down if you know it.
Now Muscle Shoals has got the Swampers, and they've been known to pick a song or two. Lord, they get me off so much. They pick me up when I am feeling blue. Now how about you?
Here's song 3.
Out on my way, out on my day, out of your mind and into mine. Into no one, into not one, into your step but out of time.
Here's song 4.
Sit around and watch the tube, but nothing's on. Change the channels for an hour or two. Twiddle my thumbs just for a bit. I am sick of all the same old in a house with unlocked doors and I'm lazy.
Filthy mouth on him.
It is.
Song 5.
Teardrops on the city, bad scooter searching for his groove. Seem like the whole world walking pretty, and you can't find the room to move.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
See if somebody knows it. Stephen Hawking sings. This is Joe. Joe, what are the 5 song titles?
The 4th one's Green Day.
No.
You got to do them in order.
In order.
First one.
I don't know what the other 4 are.
Goodbye, you stupid idiot.
I don't know what they are.
I'm a stupid idiot from Escanaba, Michigan.
No, maybe I didn't say, because we're playing at a different time. Did I say? I think I said you had to get all 5, right?
Yes.
I did say that.
Yeah.
You have to get all 5.
Start with the beginning. Gosh, darn it.
Yeah, do them in order.
John joins us. John, what are the 5 songs in order?
First one's Pink Floyd.
What is all we need is titles, really, but...
Oh, I'm screwed. I don't know any titles.
Yeah, you got to know that.
Maybe it's the fact that we're playing at a different time. Because it's normally early, not that hard.
Well, still, it's still not that hard. You got to name all 5 songs in order. And when we say name all 5 songs, we mean songs.
And the first time
not all 5 artists, all 5 song titles.
I know it has nothing to do with the time, because the first time we played this at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, everybody got it.
Usually when people are even more asleep, actually.
They understood how to play the game.
Yeah.
Clay in Nashville, can you name all 5?
Oh, man, I can name 3 of the 5.
That is not going to help you.
Boy.
I can. I'll at least attempt them, I guess.
Okay, what's the first one? What is the first one?
The first one is "Wish You Were Here."
Hold on.
Hold
on. Hang on.
So you think you could tell?
All right, there you go. That is the first one. Okay. What is the second one?
The second one is "Sweet Home Alabama."
All right. What's the
Can you
third
play
one?
back the audio from the third one?
I'm gonna, because we've had kind of a screwy start to this. So here you go. Third one.
Out on my way, out on my day, out of your mind and into mine. Into no one, into not one, into your step but out of time.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like an REM song.
What's a hint? No, it's not.
Nope.
Clay, you need a guess. I don't think you're going to make it. Sorry, Clay.
No.
Good try.
No.
All right.
You got the first 2.
Let's see. Stephanie in New Jersey. Hi, Stephanie.
Oh,
Stephanie.
Oh, boy.
Zach in Nashville. Hi, Zach.
Hey.
Hey.
You got it?
Yes, I think so.
All right.
Okay. All 5 in order.
What are the first 2 real
All
quick?
right, number 1, "Wish You Here."
Yep.
We're here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, "Sweet Home Alabama."
Yep.
And then number 3 is a Metallica song. "Ain't My." Can I say?
Yes,
the
you
last?
can. Say it.
"Ain't My Bitch."
Hang on. Great song. All right. Good.
And then the fourth one is "Welcome to Paradise" by Green Day. Or is it "Longview"? Or
Free beer.
What is your guess?
I think it's "Welcome to Paradise."
Wait for it. Wait.
Oh, Zach! What happened?
Well, yeah, it might have.
Matt in New Jersey. Hi, Matt.
How you doing, everybody?
Good, buddy. You ready?
Yeah, I think I got him. I just might need to hear number 5 again.
Okay.
Well, I gave the other guy the option.
Yep, that's true.
Rattle off the first four.
Wish You Were Here.
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
Ain't My Bitch. Long View.
Time out. All right.
Boy, Zach's got to be kicking himself.
Yeah. Big
Last
time.
one.
And you said you wanted to hear some.
Yeah, I needed to hear it again because I think I have the artist, but I'm like 90% sure on the title, and I don't know if I have it.
What state are you calling from?
Jersey.
Teardrops on the city, bad scooter searching for his groove.
That's important.
Seem like the whole world walking pity, and you can't find the room to move.
No, you know what? I think I wasted your time. Sorry,
How could you
you
possibly
kidding me?
have gotten that wrong,
boy.
considering where
Yeah,
you live?
Okay, well.
You crazy ass. That's like somebody not knowing a Beatles song from Liverpool.
Thank you, man. Don in New Jersey. Give us
Hey,
all
guys,
five.
Give us
you
all
know
five.
them all?
Start from the beginning.
Yes, we do.
Do it.
Okay.
It is Wish You Were Here.
Uh-huh.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
Ain't My Bitch.
Uh-huh.
Long View.
Yeah.
10th Avenue Freeze.
There you go.
Teardrops on the city, bad scooter searching for his groove. Seem like the whole world walking pretty, and you can't find room to move.
Yeah, the last guy's got to move to Delaware.
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, everybody better move over that song.
How can he not?
'Cause I'm running on the bad side, and I got my back to the wall. Tenth Avenue freeze out. Tenth Avenue freeze out.
There you go. You nailed it, man.
Yeah, guy from New Jersey let us down, huh?
He did.
Yeah,
I
he
guess
did.
so,
Believe that?
man.
Don, hold on. We'll get you qualified to win the refurbished laptop from thirdorb.com. Well done.
All right.
All right.
So now,
Stephen Hawking sings.
yeah, this is where Steven gets together with the groups that he's gave the lyrics to and sings those songs.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain?
He's got it down today.
Can you tell a green field?
The harmonies are so tight.
Cold sea
I feel high just listening to that.
Wow, yeah. How about this one?
Now Russell Shoals has got the swampers,
Southern rock feel to it.
and they've been known to pick a song or two. Lord, they get me off so much. They pick me up when I'm feeling blue. Now how about you?
Yeah. Got it. All right, here's Steven singing Metallica.
Out on my way, out on my day, out of your mind and into mine. Into no one, into not one, into your separate hour of time.
It's an impressive vocal range to go from
absolutely.
Pink Floyd to Metallica and everything in between.
For a guy that's pooped in a bag for the past 30 years, that's terrific.
Yeah. It's
I
not
saw his
bad.
wedding photos the other day linked on a website.
I bet that was handsome.
What? He's married?
Yeah. Well, he was. I don't know if he still is.
Oh, shit, there's no way he's still married.
But, it was crazy to
It's
see
like being
him
married to a robot.
because he's had ALS for years.
Yeah,
He's
for a long
outlived the
one.
normal prognosis by decades,
Oh, yeah.
probably. But this was back before he got sick, and he was just a nerdy, smart guy.
He was probably muscle-bound, way in shape. He could run a mile in 2 minutes.
He looked like a 1958 version of John Hodgman, the guy that says, I'm a Mac and I'm a PC.
Okay.
PC guy.
Here he is doing Green Day.
Sit around and watch the tube. Nothing's on.
Went low.
Change the candles for an hour or two. Twiddle my thumbs just for a
Twiddle.
I am sick of all the same old in the house, the locked doors, and I'm lazy.
Longview, Green Day.
Finally, a little drunk on that one.
He was hammered,
Sounded
man.
like David after the dentist. going on right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And
A little
finally,
dopey.
here he is. This is Stephen Hawking, and you know what it is, don't you?
Teardrops on the city, bad scooters searching for his groove. Seem like the whole world walking bitty, and you can't find the room to move.
can't believe dude from New Jersey missed that.
I know.
He got
Can't
the
either.
4 that aren't anthems in New Jersey and then missed the anthem.
Yeah, that's amazing.
They don't even play the national anthem at the ball game in Jersey. They play a Bruce song.
Yeah. Hot Wings, your wife would kick that guy right square in the gonads, wouldn't he?
Oh,
Wouldn't she?
big time. Yeah, of course.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, he must have moved into Jersey. He can't possibly have been born there.
Filthy animal.
We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
And now back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
I want my farts to sound like this. Oh, hold on, I got a fart.
Online at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Tomorrow, as we said, producer Joe's Joe Stunt, Will It Lick Him Challenge Part 2, back at the fair. The fair has never let us down as a location for Joe Stunts.
No, there's always so much going on, so much fodder.
That'll be tomorrow. Don't forget also Thursday, Dumber Than Zane Trivia presented by Cat Footwear. Chance for you to win cash. $1,200 from Cat Footwear. Mm-hmm. By the way, when we went to Daytona in February with Cat Footwear, which, by the way, I think we're going to do that giveaway again and take a listener with us again. I think. Probably not supposed to say that, so pretend I didn't. But we told the story at the time that we were sitting in the RV afterwards, and Joe and Zane initially went to what turned out to be an awesome party at a makeshift Club 3 in the infield of the Daytona 500. Truly, a couple of campers with tarps and 2x4s making a tent and a nightclub with a DJ and guys that look like Dale Jr. and Dale Sr. walking around, free booze, just a crazy party. I regret not leaving for it immediately, though I would have been completely trashed if I had been there longer, because I barely drank all day, and as soon as I got to Club 3, booze was falling like crazy.
It's because you guys are too busy being old. You
I
totally
agree.
went old man.
Oh, big time.
Of all the people to tell you that.
No, you're right. I agree, and I regret it. I will not make that mistake.
The rickety alcoholic went to Club 3, and you guys are sitting around going,
It was my, and in our defense, though this barely helps, I thought we were going to be leaving. I thought you guys were going to get down there, drink a beer, and come back.
Oh, I knew that wasn't happening.
Now that I was there, if someone said this year, hey, we're going to Club 3, I would be on the golf cart with as many beers stuffed in my pockets as possible.
Yeah. I knew Kelly from Cat Footwear she was ready to go. As soon as she said, no, we're going to be right home, I could see a wink in her eye, which meant, oh, boy, get me to the beer tent.
Yeah. That was like the speech she had to make to remain professional.
Yeah.
But once it was all over, who wants to go home?
That was really something. Well, because we were lame.
You're lame, guy.
Hot Wings and I stayed back, and we were meatheads. There was a knock on the door at one point, and it was a camera crew that said they were from ESPN, and they were doing interviews to get a feel for why people like NASCAR.
Yeah.
Right.
And Hot Wings, you said, Freebeer, you should do that interview. And so they did a couple interviews. I no doubt said nothing interesting because I was trying to give them sound bites or whatever. But they took down my information, and they said, if we ever use this footage, we're contractually obligated. We'll call you and let you know when it's going to be on.
Yeah.
So it had been months.
Since February. I mean,
last week I got a call on Thursday and from this agency that put this together, and they said, we're going to use your piece. It's going to be airing on this Thursday. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's on at 6 or 6:30 on ESPN2.
PM?
Okay.
PM, yeah.
6:30 p.m. ESPN2.
It's a show, you'll be able to tell by the title. It's like Need for Speed or Heart of Racing.
NASCAR in the gay community? Is that what it is?
It's NASCAR in the gay community. That's why they talked to me, and that's why they featured me.
Zing.
I was sitting on Jeremy Mayfield's lap doing meth at the time.
How about that guy? Failed another drug test.
And then he had his own drug test, and it came back clean. And now he's saying NASCAR spiked the results because there would be such
what an allegation.
Obvious benefit to NASCAR to reveal that one of their drivers had been racing on meth.
Yeah, of course they want to do that. They would be out to get him.
Called his stepmom
Bad name.
Called her a bitch and said that she killed his father. I mean, all sorts. This is crazy, this whole thing. But anyway, so they called me and sent me an email saying that this is going to be on. So
good.
I'll be on some sort of national television. I'll bet in hindsight, I'm going to see it and it's going to be awful.
You're going to be dumb.
I'm going to look stupid.
You are going to look stupid.
But they're paying me.
How
now,
much? Yeah.
At the time,
they
Hot
sent
Wings,
you a check.
You and I had no idea that this did it because we're like, what the hell? Whatever, we're just sitting here. They're sending me $323.
Yeah, that's the last time I pawned something off, I'll tell you that.
Because Hot Wings answered the door.
Yeah.
To the RV.
Yeah, because they're walking by and they start talking to me and asking questions. And I thought they were going to ask actual, difficult NASCAR-style questions. And I don't get into the nuts and bolts. You know more about that stuff than I do. But turns out all they were asking was stupid things. And I go, well, I could have done that.
Yeah, you could have done it.
So who knew?
I was going out of my way to try it. I remember sitting there thinking, I got to give them a good soundbite because I want to be on TV, which means I used all sorts of crazy cliches.
Oh.
I think I'm going to look stupid.
I just hope they use the part because I kept leaning into Freebird and I go, work in the name of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, so I believe
they didn't know we did a show.
I believe at some point I said, the best thing about the race is you gather with your friends and you root for the cat footwear driver, Jeff Burton, you eat some free beer and hot wings. It's all good.
Oh,
I think if they use that, it'd be there, but it's so cheesy and stupid.
Are they going to send you the video of this?
Yeah, they're sending me a DVD.
Oh, we already said that.
Sorry. Some more good jokes about NASCAR and the gay community.
No, don't fight back. Just take the punishment. It makes it more awkward.
So we mentioned earlier that we know a radio guy that told us that he took his he asked if this was bad. He took his 12-year-old son to see Hangover one weekend. Bad enough. I don't think I would do that if I were responsible for if my nieces and nephews were that age. I wouldn't take them to see The Hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Zane, you said you probably wouldn't take your children to see The Hangover.
No.
Your daughter's pretty close to 12, right? Your middle daughter?
She is 12.
She is 12.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't take her, would you?
Absolutely not. There's no way.
It doesn't even seem close. But even if you could make an argument for The Hangover, I don't know anyone who would take their 12-year-old to see Bruno. Because that has stuff that's like a porno.
Yeah.
It really does.
Ridiculous.
Joe, I'm not exaggerating, am I?
No. UCP and VG.
You do.
Really
do. A lot of...
Now, when you say vagee, are you talking you see like hair, or you actually see
it was
genitalia?
Bald. It was bald, but you see...
Are you serious?
So I guess you see.
Yeah.
Well, and you see far less of that than you see male member flopping around. Yeah. You see a lot of that.
Yeah.
You haven't. If you see Bruno, you're going to finally know what it looks like to see one shoved inside of a turned-on dustbuster.
No,
that's going to be part of what you learn.
Now let's get to the penis part.
So he took his 12-year-old to see Bruno. That seems incredibly awkward. And we wondered if there was anybody that took a child younger than that. We got an email from someone earlier that they took their 8-year-old to see Bruno.
Oh, no. That's old enough to remember.
Oh, who could do that? I mean, sit there and have to endure that with your kid looking at you?
At least 12.
Seriously?
You could make the argument that they would have been exposed to such things in school. Maybe.
No,
I don't buy it.
Not male porno.
But at least you could say that maybe they'd be old enough to understand that it was satire. But at 8, I don't think you could. And I wouldn't buy that argument at that age. But at 8, I don't even think you could even make that argument with a straight face.
No, that's somebody who still showers with their kid.
It does. Yep.
Thinks it's okay, doesn't understand. What? What's the big deal? Yeah.
Uses his poking finger for something. That's what he does.
It's cool we use the same bath water. Doesn't matter.
That is weird, by the way. Family shower.
Yeah.
That's a whole other
issue.
Well,
my daughter, my 6-year-old showers with mom.
I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's
shower with dad would be a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I haven't seen No, I can't. 6 is even too old to see your kid nude in my book.
Yeah, once you're past diaper stage, it's that's it.
Yep. I'm not comfortable in any of that.
No.
I'm pretty normal, I think.
I think so. But I'll bet you there are people listening that would take a shower, dad with daughter, at that age.
Completely
innocent, not nothing.
No, it's not. It's not innocent.
Nothing. Nothing
they're turned
intentionally. No, I'll bet you there are.
No, that's just. It's impossible for that to be innocent.
No.
They're not turned on.
Oh, come on.
If you are, don't email because I don't want to know about it.
The only reason you do that.
Hopefully we're not big in the pedophile sect in terms of listenership. Bet no one's listening who's a pedophile.
You know how we'll get an email every once in a while from someone where they'll be upset about something because it hits just a little too close to home. We made fun of this and they were okay with it, but we mentioned scrapbookers and they're offended.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if we ever got that email from a pedophile? You know, I really like your show.
No.
But it is hurtful when you insult pedophiles because I enjoy
the touch of a child.
Yep. We'll never get that email.
No.
Even those people will not bother to try to make that defense.
They know how broken they are.
We'll take a break. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. 97.9 GRD, Grand Rapids Rock Alternative, the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Sunny to partly cloudy today, looks gorgeous. 80 the high, 73 now, downtown GR. And the West Michigan debut of the movie Feet happens on Thursday at Celebration Cinema.
Yeah, Celebration North. It'd be cool. I'm going to head over there and pick up a bicycle from the Grand Rapids Bicycle Company that Brian has donated, one of the many door prizes we have.
Now, can I win that?
Technically. Yes. Yeah, you're buying a ticket.
It'd be weird. It'd be weird if I won.
Even
if it was completely legit, it'd be weird.
When you buy a ticket, they rip it in half, and there's a number on either side, so you keep one, and then we're going to throw them all in a hat and have a door prize drawing at the end.
I rode my Walmart bike a long way yesterday, and it made me think I need a different bike.
Well, yeah, at the very least, Brian can help you, so thanks to him for donating that bicycle. Also, donations from Decker & Sons. They've been on the air with us before. They gave us a Blu-ray DVD player, so thanks a lot. Strider's new clients on the air with us gave us 3 $100 gift certificates.
Nice.
So that's cool. And got a pair of AC/DC tickets we're going to give away. Thanks to Dave Kim from Promotions for helping us with that. And this movie is The Hope for a Cure Lies in the Feet of One Man, the film Feet, about Tim Borland, who, if he gets in town, I'd like to have him on the air Thursday, but I don't know when he's going to get in Thursday. I'll check on that. But he's going to be there for the film. 7 o'clock start for the movie. He ran 63 marathons in 63 days to raise awareness for the disease that we've talked about many times on the air, ataxia telangiectasia. And the Velding family will be there. They're they're a local family that we've had on the air who have 2 children that are stricken with the disease, Kate and Olivia. And so it comes to this. We've been talking about it on the air. Tickets are $25 each. That's a donation that goes right to the charity.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to Celebration Cinemas for helping us get the venue. We've got a big theater, a 550-seat theater. And as of right now, we're about 120 tickets sold. And if you buy tickets online via freebeerandhotwings.com, you have until Thursday to do that. So now, if you don't do it that way, and if you buy them, it says here, online ticket purchases on Thursday morning will be shut off, and there'll be a note that says that tickets can be purchased at the door. So we'll expect a walk-up, too. So you go to Celebration North, of course, it starts at 7 o'clock, and you can get tickets there. We'll all be there, and it'll be a good time, and it should be fun. So we're looking forward to that. $25 each.
Where's Tim from? Do you remember?
California, I believe.
63 marathons in 63 days.
You believe that?
No.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to do that
Especially
in 63 weeks.
We talked to him a number of times through that, and some of the stuff, and obviously the documentary will show it all, but some of the emotion with which he ran, meeting the families and stuff that have gone through this, that's an additional strain on the body and the mind when obviously it's pretty taxing anyway, emotionally and physically. If you're going to run 63 marathons in 63 days, if you did it in a vacuum, it'd be very difficult. But with the additional stuff that he had going on and how much it meant to him, even more impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. So we've got something else that we're going to want you to take part in, and that is this Friday at the end of the show at about this time, we're going to have a contest. We can't tell you exactly what it is. We're going to get 4 qualifiers. 2 of them will square off against each other in this contest. The other 2 will be alternates. We're not going to decide which 2 will play until that Friday morning. We'll do it by random drawing.
Mm-hmm.
if one of the people that gets elected, the two people that get into the finals, so to speak, will come in here and we'll explain to them the contest. If they choose to do it, then one of them will win. If one of them bails, we'll replace them with one of the other two.
Right.
Okay. So one of those four for sure is going to win the trip for you and a guest to fly to Nashville, airfare and hotel included, and get a tour of Third Man Records with Jack White and the members of the Dead Weather.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this contest, we don't want to reveal the details of the contest because we don't want people to prepare, though I'm not sure how you'd prepare for this. But nonetheless, in this case, we feel like the less details we give, the better. But
details. It's a big prize.
We did determine yesterday that whatever gender the first qualifier was, that all four qualifiers need to be the same gender. So we're going to get two of the qualifiers today. And, Marissa, we're going to start with the person who's on line 5. So essentially, the fifth caller. If that is a woman, then all of our contestants will need to be women. If that is a man, all of our contestants will need to be men. So if you want to get qualified for this, 1-800-947-3979. Caller number 5 will be our first qualifier.
Yeah. Marissa, if you accidentally hang up on all men, that'd be awesome.
I don't think that's a good idea. Random. We'll see. Typically, when we do this line of doom type stuff, the longer we've done it, sadly, the more it's become a sausage fest.
Oh, big time. Remember that one deal where those two dudes made out?
Oh, God.
For like a minute or 30 seconds?
Yeah, that was pretty awkward.
Terrible.
Pretty funny, though.
It was funny. It was memorable. Haunted my dreams a little because they were, they were not.
They were mashing.
I mean, regardless of how you feel about homosexuality or anything, these guys were not guys that should be doing that.
Well,
I wouldn't have wanted to see those guys kissing a lady.
Right. The thing about men kissing, I don't care, but it does make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To see men kiss each other.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
You'd have been more comfortable if they were attractive?
Yes. That is true.
Fair enough.
He just rolls with it.
Marissa, is it, I know you're on the phone with someone, and it's rude to interrupt, but is that a man or a woman you're talking to?
It's a man.
So our first qualifier is a man. He's going to do it?
Yep.
Okay. We need 3 more dudes then. Who would be willing. I think he hung up, Marissa.
Good.
No? Okay. She's getting number 2. So we need 2 more. Well, we'll need 3 more. We're getting 1 more man to do it today.
All right.
So Friday, 4 men will be here. One of them will leave. And they'll be the winner, and they and a guest will fly to Nashville to get a tour of Third Man Records with Jack White and members of the Dead Weather. Airfare and hotel included. Trip is in August.
Like it.
Okay. How good is that?
Very good.
I know we're being sketchy with the details, but when you hear the details, I believe you'll understand why, and you will not be disappointed. Howings, would you agree?
Absolutely.
Zane?
Yes.
Okay. That's Friday. We'll get 2 more qualifiers tomorrow. Also, probably Thursday, we're going to be giving tickets away to some more MMA fights, this time at the Ionia Fair.
Really?
Yes.
Is that the same place where the flood was?
Yes.
Okay.
You're responsible for your own parking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
We're just giving you tickets to the fights.
If there is a big flood, do you think we'll have the ability to announce that there's a flood there instead of just putting our head in the sand and pretending it's not going on?
In theory, the difference is we're not running the event.
Okay.
We're giving away tickets to the event.
Okay.
Right.
It's not called the Free Beer and Hot Wings cage fighting.
No.
But we'll check the forecast and we'll let you know if it looks sketchy.
Yeah, we don't want your cars to flood like another radio station.
Yeah, the biggest difference I'd say is that we're not giving them direct orders to park people where it will definitely flood.
Where they intentionally put the cars there just because they thought it was funny that everyone's car was getting ruined.
True or false? If this happened, Hot Wings, Zane, would you go out of your way to intentionally hide the weather, the rain, and the forecast?
No,
I would not.
Not like they did.
I would not.
No.
Okay. Subtle differences. I know we're working.
Yeah.
No.
Just a skosh of differences.
Who would do that? It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
JT is in next. It's 97.9 GRD.